Hello and welcome to the ADLR Podcast. Joined by Brian, Kelsey at the neck of time, dude. And we got Randall here.
So
Randall.
Yep. Hosted by yours truly.
What's your
name? My name? ADLR. What does that stand for? Anthony De La Rosa. I think I read Brian. I think he was going to ask me what that stands for afterwards. I saw it in your eyes.
No, I already checked out.
Shit. Anywho, we come to you guys today on this super rainy and thunderous day. So the vibes are slower, downer, colder. You feel me?
I feel you, dog.
Gotcha. All right. Well, first and foremost, we're here to review shit. We're here to make fun of shit. And also, I'm also trying out the MooBot chat in my chat. So there's going to be have it cycling ads after every 15 minutes. So let's see how that turns out. If that gets too annoying, let me know.
Let me know how you like it, because I'm using the Streamlabs chatbot to cycle stuff. But I heard MooBot's actually really good.
Yeah, I have it set up with my. Oh, don't worry, Brian. All the commands are there. So Skullgirls still gets the plug. So does Final Fantasy 14. I've moved that shit over. So and it actually replies to you directly. So it's pretty neat.
What's is it this?
But in Roman numerals, Brian, not just the number. Come on. I gotta see if Brian gets it right now.
Work.
Oh shit, can he get Roman numerals correct?
Hold on.
Well, we're holding on. He got it.
That's fucking vibes.
Starting to get dark in here, so wasn't sure.
Right. I had to turn you guys up real quick. I'm like, it sounds low, but it just could be the mood. Do you feel me? Who did that noise? Was that you?
Ooh. Sorry, I farted.
Oh, that came out crystal clear, my guy. Anywho, how's you guys' week been, Randall? And the stormy weather here, huh? How's your week been, man? I'm trying to talk to you here. What you doing? I'm trying to get you home.
What?
Randall, are you here? Are you awake? You dreaming?
How's your mom?
What day is it?
What?
I was asking Kelsey how's his mom.
Oh,
she's doing okay. She's like I said, she broke a bunch of ribs. But they're just trying to get the pain down and keep her breathing, so the pneumonia doesn't set in. But otherwise, she's doing pretty well.
All right. Oh, that's a Chick-fil-A sandwich. I don't have to fucking ask. Look at it. We're not sponsored by Chick-fil-A. Sorry, Chick-fil-A. If you want more...
Do you keep pickles in your sandwich? Okay.
Good man.
Just want to see if I can trust you.
I don't like... I like pickles on their own, like depending on how they're made. Like if I go to Korean barbecue, I love the kimchi pickles or whatever it is that they do. Those are delicious. But pickles themselves are just such an overpowering flavor that if they put it on there, it's all you taste. Even though apparently Shannon told me that they apparently soak their chicken in pickle juice.
Oh.
And before they batter it and cook it and whatever. But I don't taste the pickles. But when they put the pickles on there, that's all I taste.
I'm right there with you. That's exactly what happens to me.
I don't mind how much the pickles taste like if it was in there and I got that shit out, in the taste on the bread. But you put a pickle in there and I forget to take it out and I bite into it, I'm in a fighting mood.
No, for me, even if it's soaked into the bread and I taste the pickle after I remove it, I'm like, you ruined this sandwich for me. I'm gonna eat it, but you've ruined it.
You eat it, but you're not gonna be happy about it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna be like, okay, I got my wrong sandwich. It's happened to me before where I asked for no pickles. I take a bite, and there's a pickle in it. I'm like, wait. And at first, I'm like, maybe I fucked up. So I check my receipt, and it sure shit, no pickle on it. I'm like, well, here we are. And it always happens. No pickles, yeah. And that's happened to me where on the bag it says no pickles, and then there's pickles in it. And I'm like, what? And it always happens when I get it delivered. So it's like, well, fuck. I'm not gonna be like, hey, let's send it back or whatever. I gotta just sit there and take the L, man, the entire time while I'm staring at this fucking bag that held my chicken sandwich saying no pickles on it. I'm like, you fucking liar.
Even if you like get new bread, it's already been tainted. You can't.
Yeah,
You know,
there's
that's all you taste.
yeah, it's over. I taste the betrayal the entire time on each bite. So, what is there left to do? What is there left to do? I guess we can move on here to our regularly scheduled programming. Brian, I guess to up the up or down the review score, you got the Tomorrow War. You spent some time with it.
Yeah, so I watched it.
Okay.
I'm gonna do a quick. If I'm going to like SGDQ this review,
Yeah.
75% of the movie's entertaining, like Fast and the Furious level.
Oh, okay.
The last act had no business being in this movie.
The last act. What?
It doesn't have a good finish.
They did not know how to end this movie, and then they're like, out of nowhere, a guy basically becomes a kangaroo. Not literally, but the way that the shit that he does. When,
I thought you were like legitimate. And that's it? Like that's all you got for it?
That's all. Yeah, like I mean, the plot enough to keep you going. Yeah, acting's not the best, but enough to keep you going. Yvonne Strahovski's in it. More than enough to keep me going.
Got it. Okay.
They got some good names in it. Like looking at the cast list, it looks like it'd be. I mean, I realize that there's more to a movie than just who's in it. You know, there's only so much that the great actors can do.
Yeah.
You know, because like look at movie 43? Like how many big names did you have in that, and how awful was it?
So it has actors that people like, but it's like they were hired to fill a typecasted role that keeps the movie along. It's not like
performance of a lifetime.
Jameson. The guy that plays Jameson.
No, I'm drawing a blank just as you right now.
I keep thinking J.K. Rowling. J.K. Simmons. J.K. Simmons.
It's J.J.
Jonah Jameson.
J.J.
Yeah, yes. Could not think of that either. Like,
this is a fart episode, my guy. Our brains are just destroyed.
We're off to a good start. The races are off to a good start.
Yeah.
What the hell was I saying? He at most is in the movie for like 5 minutes.
I thought he had a bigger role than that.
He's supposed to, but the whole point is like to explain how the main character is the way he is, kind of. Their interaction together is like forced. Like it's not. He's the guy's dad.
Okay.
Jameson is Chris Pratt's dad, and even then, it's like if you didn't tell me he was his dad, I wouldn't have known.
Is that an important fact though? Is it like, does it matter that it's his dad?
It's his dynamic with his dad is supposed to be important because Chris Pratt's character is also a dad, and the way that he raises his kid, it's almost as if like I'll never be like my dad kind of thing. But you see him and then it's like, oh, it's a few moments of dialogue. Whatever happens in that first time they introduce him, like, okay. And then you move on. And this movie, it doesn't ask questions that should have had an answer. So
what? Oh, okay. Like, okay.
Yeah. So like, yeah, later on, it's a big like moving scene or whatever.
Okay. But
no one ever asks about the fate of a certain character that's important. Because you know it's the future. Like it takes place in the future. There's a glaring question, and they leave room for them to ask this to get an answer. Nothing ever happens.
It's up for the imagination. Or maybe a sequel. You know?
I doubt it now. I don't know. If they do I don't know. I just don't know. The way it ended, I'm like, I don't want to see this again. If you're gonna finish the movie like this, don't make a sequel.
I mean,
they're already starting like pre-development of the next movie.
Well, in their defense, there's a lot of Fast and the Furious movies that ended that way for me. It was like, I don't want to see this anymore. And then Fast 8, and I'm like, okay, well, here we are. And
I mean, at this point, they're just milking the franchise, like.
Yeah, so I mean, if that's like the worst thing about this movie, then that's fine because I've sat through 12 or 10 Fast and the Furious movies, or I guess 9.
That's the thing, though. So like in Fast and the Furious, It's always, this guy, better car, wilder stunt. How are we gonna beat him? He can catch a car.
Yeah.
This one's like, we've seen the alien.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen that they understand what to do. All right, now what?
Next, then it's gonna be a third alien, and then the old aliens are gonna team up with the humans because family, and then they're gonna take on the new aliens. Like rinse and repeat. It ain't broke.
And then Master Chief comes out of nowhere, and they start teaming up with whoever the other aliens are.
Yeah, with all the Star Wars characters. Oh,
the brutes, yeah. And then Groot comes out of nowhere.
And then Doom Guy appears to save everybody.
And then they'll have a funny joke of mistaking Master Chief with Doom Guy, because that's obviously going to happen. I think we have a fucking blockbuster in our hands, boys.
Yeah, that's game of the year already.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah,
Music, at least, was soundtrack, whatever. It's just cookie cutter cinematic.
I don't remember the soundtrack.
Okay.
There's parts where it tries to be funny. Almost never is.
What kind of humor is it?
The writing. Like those. Whenever there's some sci-fi movie, there's that one guy who does not stop talking, like the pussy that's the comedic relief.
Got it.
Just keeps talking.
And none of it's like landing.
Yeah, not
It's just like nervous banter.
Yeah, but for like, it's kind of like in Justice League where like Ezra Miller, his Flash is gonna be so funny, and then everything he said, it was like, yeah, it's just like move on.
I got it. Okay.
I feel like that's yeah.
That's
entertaining
everything
for the 75%. Entertaining enough to watch and enjoy yourself. The last part, you're like, well, whoever wrote this, I don't know if they're coming back.
Got it.
Don't expect good acting, like stand up and clap acting,
like dramatics. There's no. These aren't best drama actors. Is what you're saying?
Yeah, no.
Got it.
The actors are good, but the way they were incorporated into this movie, I wouldn't. There's one actor who's like, I don't know if he's ever even heard what movies are. It's a guy who's basically, if you watch the movie, he's wearing a red shirt and he has like a little claw necklace. This man phoned it in the entire time.
Like soccer level.
He copied off everybody else's homework to get through class.
Something would happen. Let's say somehow Kelsey exploded. Yo, that ain't gonna be us.
That was a delivery?
That's delivery. It never said that, but that would be his delivery.
I feel like that was better than. I feel like what you just did was better than what he did.
Yeah,
there's a chance.
Oh shit! Okay. So I don't know. I'm kind of waiting to see what this final verdict is. So is 75% of the movie is watchable, but then it sounds like the journey isn't that great either.
Yeah, like the last 25%, it's all right. It randomly just changes genre. It tries to be like, all right, so X thing happened. The arc, to an extent, has some kind of bow, and the movie continues, and they like, we're gonna do an Ocean's 11 recruitment montage, and then
at the last 25 minutes,
and then we're gonna randomly go out for this one mission, and then somehow. Spoiler here.
Did you watch a bootleg version? Like, did they like crop two movies together that you didn't realize? Like.
It's whatever, dude.
The recruitment phase and the last act. Let's go. Okay. So is this? I don't even know what we're gonna say. Is it you recommend this to anyone? Like Fast and the Furious, I recommend because it's just popcorn movie. Like it's. If
you don't want a movie that's gonna make you like, yo, did he murder them? Because this one scene, if you don't want to think, just watch something happen. You probably enjoy this.
Okay.
It's watch for giggles.
Watch for giggles, all right, but not for shits. Got it. All right. All right. I mean, it is summer blockbuster time, so blockbuster time, not blockbuster. So I mean, I guess we can move on to the next blockbuster here that we got. All right, Randall. You know about what I'm about to ask you, right?
No, because I don't remember putting anything like that.
Oh, what do you think of Black Widow?
Well, it was decent.
Okay. What about it was decent?
I watched it again, and
Oh, you saw it the second time?
yeah.
Okay. Wait, did you like it more the second time or
Yeah.
worse the second? You liked it more the second time? Okay. Go for it.
Well, I forget her name.
Florence Pugh?
Yeah,
Yelena.
Yelena, yeah, I guess her name would be Yelena in the movie.
I liked her character a lot.
I thought Elena was the mom.
Melina was the mom.
Oh, Melina. That's right. You're right.
Okay. Well, I mean, you're not gonna just leave us in the dust like that. What else, man? What are your thoughts for a Black Widow backstory movie? What you think? You satisfied with that backstory?
I felt the movie was more about her sister than her. It felt like it was more her. It didn't feel, well, I can't say it didn't feel like a Black Widow movie because they're all Black Widows. But it didn't feel like it was Natasha's movie at all. That's what made it feel weird to me.
I agree with that. Like we got more a bit, I guess, more insight on the sister and less more of the parents, quote unquote parents, that were in it. What do you think of the action sequences? I mean, there's a lot of CQC stuff here.
There was some good fights, but
you're running into that moment of
they were just like clips, if anything. They weren't like like I wouldn't say thought out, but like they weren't like, you know how like when Luke fights Darth Vader, it's like a fight, and then there would be a victor at the end.
Yeah.
Or like when Chuck Norris fights Bruce Lee, it's like a actual fight, and then there's a victor.
Yeah.
The fights in these were like when Taskmaster was fighting what is he called? The Red something.
Guardian.
The Red Guardian. I mean, you can't really say that we saw a fight because it was just attack, cut to something else, cut back to them, attack, cut to something else, cut back to them, him getting thrown up against the wall, cut to something else. Like it it wasn't even like we didn't really even see the fight. So, and then the fight between Taskmaster and Natasha wasn't really a fight.
It was a Uncharted stunt on the way down.
It's more like a slaughter.
Yeah.
I can't, to be honest, it wasn't really, as far as like hand-to-hand combat, the only hand-to-hand combat that was actually like a beginning and end was when Natasha was fighting the widows.
Oh, right.
That probably was the best fight scene in the movie.
I like the sister fight in the hotel, in the apartment.
Yeah.
Granted,
Yeah,
there's
that
no
one
winner
was-
there, but that to me was more like, okay, they're both popping off right now.
Yeah.
So
I feel like it was just short.
yeah, it was short. I'm
All
like,
of-
this is a crazy introduction. Like I was expecting them to fight each other and then go, good to see you, sis, or some shit, and they did sort of something like that.
It felt like they filmed just enough for a proof of concept and accidentally hit upload
You're talking about for the whole movie?
the whole movie. Just like I said on the last scene when the explosion, I feel like I watched Marvel's version of Spy Kids.
I can understand that. I
Oh.
feel like they tried too hard to have too many different things in it. Like they started off great, and then they tried to be funny in a lot of places with the Red Guardian and Melina and things, and it was just
Yeah.
like there's no need for any of this. You know, like none.
The Red Guardian or Alexi, whatever, that was my reason to keep watching. That was my favorite part, was Hopper just doing a Russian accent. What? Like, that
Well,
was it.
when they break him out of jail though, and you know, he's like, I've been in jail for the last like 30 years. I've got a lot of energy.
Yeah, I'm like, that's not how you say that. Like, I don't know if that's... Is that how they say it in Russia? Like, is that... They have a lot of energy? But whatever. Either way, I don't know. I watching it, I thought it was fine. I didn't think it was a Black Widow backstory. I was hoping for that, like more of a good send off to her, because spoilers, if she dies, unless they're gonna use some time travel bullshit to bring her back or something in future movies, but
well,
or not time travel, like you know what I mean, like timeline stuff.
Yeah, after watching Loki,
No spoilers, please.
I know.
No, you good.
I'm not gonna spoil anything. Calm down.
I'm not calm.
I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the dude with his hands on it.
Well, I know how you like to talk and say, "Oh, I'm done." Oh, one last thing, spoiler, and then try to tell me it's not a spoiler. So I figured if you're gonna talk about Loki, I'm safe for taking it off.
Anyway, you'll find out that, to me, if someone dies, it's just like,
It's whatever.
yeah.
Well, because
It's pretty much like reading comic books. It's like, if someone dies in a comic book, there's a great chance you might see them again.
that's unfortunate. Because
I'm not saying that I saw anybody that died in Loki. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that
they made
the concept of the multiverse is, it's
in
kind of like you said. If you have multiverse, then people there's room for people to come back.
Rick and Morty.
They are variants of everyone.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's what I was afraid of. Even though I was excited to have like the time travel and multiverse stuff, but it just negates anyone dying and having like a loss. In a way. So I mean, we'll see how they handle it, I guess.
Although, like, I don't know.
What do you mean?
I was going, because you said it kind of negates them dying. I guess, I don't know. It's kind of like if there was another version of you. I mean, if I've known only you all this time and you died, I'm not going to all of a sudden feel better because I see another you. Because even though it's another you from another universe, I know that's not you. That's not the you that I grew up knowing.
Oh,
well, yeah, he's not in control.
Yeah, the character himself will be. Yeah, they're gonna be sad or whatever the case is. But me as a viewer, knowing that it's like playing a video game. Yes, you have like let's say you have 3 lives, and oh fuck, I died. You're fine. You're just gonna respawn again.
Well, for me,
like me as a viewer, I know that death is sad for the character, but the guy will be back.
Well, that's what I'm explaining. Like, at least for me personally, like I get invested into the characters, some characters anyway. So like, even though, let's say hypothetically they brought Tony back,
mm-hmm.
I know that's not the Tony that I've been watching for 10 plus years.
Okay.
So I might be cool, like, oh, Tony Stark is back, but that's, in my mind, I know that's not Tony. That's not the Tony that I've been watching.
That's not your timeline, Tony.
Yeah, exactly. So
are you saying that as if they brought a Tony from a different dimension, or if they
a different timeline, like
if
a different
Dragon Ball summoned them back?
He's talking about timeline one.
Yeah,
like,
I don't think they.
But if let's say they Dragon Ball wished him back, you'd be like, "That's my Tony."
I mean, I'd be happy because that's
like your Tony.
That's my Tony. Okay. But if it was a multiverse or a variant Tony, I'd be like, cool, yes, Iron Man's back. But at this, again, I have time invested in the other one, and I know that person is not the same Tony.
Okay, that's fair. Not for me. I go ahead, Kelsey.
I feel like this is was it the Spider-Man multiverse?
Yeah.
Thing, like where Peter comes back, but it's not the same Peter. He's out of shape. He doesn't have the same, same attitude, same anything.
He's gone
like,
through
yeah, that's Peter, but that's not Peter.
That's Peter going through something else on his timeline. That makes sense.
Yeah, and that's another thing like he brought up too, is that the variants don't, even though they might not look the same and they might not act the same. Even if they look the same, they don't act the same.
Because they've gone through different... That's their timeline. They went through something different. So, I mean, I understand that point. But I can't just ignore that's the
So
same
what's the
thing.
name of the dude from Peaky Blinders, the main character?
Cillian Murphy, Thomas
Tommy?
Shelby.
Who?
Tommy Shelby.
So if Tommy died...
they can't bring him back.
And then they brought him back in like a variant of him.
Like a timeline thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, then
You're telling me...
you got this tech.
Yeah, because the time. But like, we're gonna suspend disbelief for this thing.
So
here.
you're telling me like you're not gonna feel you're gonna just like feel the same way, like your feelings are not gonna change at all.
I would not like the show more. Like that would knock it. Because again, now you just negated that scene of him dying before.
But it's not him.
I understand, but I'm still looking at him, and they're gonna make it, and that means that arc that he's gonna have is, no, I am still a Shelby. Like it's gonna be, oh, I can fit right in. Like now we're gonna spend time going, I'm fitting into this timeline, so that everyone can love me, and I'm like, that's wasted airtime. That's just me. If he dies, let him die. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think that if they brought a variant in that he would try to like insert himself as if the original one just never died or never
Well,
existed.
he won't, but that's going to be brought up by the people surrounding him. That makes sense. Like the supporting actors would be like, he's not our Tommy, or whatever the case is. I can hear Arthur saying that, and then it's that battle between I'm in charge because the real Tommy in our line is dead, so I should be taking the mantle, and then that's like, no, but I'm actually Tommy, and then I'm already not liking what I'm saying.
You know what it was.
Yeah, you know what it was. Like I'm not already liking that. But again, that's just me. Because if you're gonna put the time to kill off a character, kill off the character. You know. Don't kill off the character thinking or like planning he's gonna come back, unless it's like off screen, like, oh, did he die? And we as the audience didn't see him die, so we're like, oh, he's probably alive, and he'll come back in like Dragon Ball fashion at the last second.
Like Superman.
Or Superman, yeah, sorry.
He's dead, but not actually dead because his body just goes into like, stasis
Sleep mode. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, but I mean, we can take your theory and go down a rabbit hole.
If you want, I mean, we've got time to kill. We don't have that much stuff on here, so
Because it's like, how far do you need to go to confirm that a person is dead?
and real life or in like a show or something.
In the show,
I just need to see them.
So,
dead.
like for example, like we saw Tony like incapacitated, but do we actually know that he's actually dead?
No, we don't. But for my cinema film, like my cinema rules, like he's dead. He's on screen dead. That makes sense. I don't know if but if it were to like him do this,
So if he were to come back, would that bother you?
it wouldn't bother me. Okay, he died, but he better not die in front of me again because it's not gonna have the same effect. That makes sense.
Original him coming back or another one coming back?
What if like I'm just spitballing, but what if like they preserved his body and the whole time he's been like
In hiding or something.
not hiding, but because the damage to using the Infinity Stones, it took him years for his body to get back to a point where he's like, let's say it put him in some sort of coma, like
Okay.
that, and then he eventually wakes up like years later.
I don't know. I mean, I'd be like, oh, he's back, but then like at that point, that means that everyone's safe because they'll write some weird thing for them to come back later. That just when someone comes back like that, to me, that means they added a safety net, and they added a safety net to all the characters.
See, I'm kind of with you in the same boat, but I'm a little different. So like, if someone dies on screen, this I only theorize this when it comes to Marvel movies, MCU movies.
Okay.
All right. So if a person dies on screen, it has to be visible proof that this person is dead. I'm talking about like their head is cut off, or a penetration through the heart, like what's his name?
I don't
Killmonger.
Oh, okay.
Now, granted, he stuck him in the chest, but they're in Wakanda, so they have the tech to like.
They could literally just pull the knife out and just like hit him with some gel.
Yeah,
or some
put him
shit.
in the machine and he'll be fine. But aside from that special case, it has to be like something like what Jean Grey was doing to people. Whoever died by Jean Grey's hand when she was the Phoenix, they should never come back.
Well, in the comics they do. She like restores some of them.
She means the X-Men movie that came out.
Yeah.
Oh.
With Tony, this was
he
a
keeps-
Tony example. There's nothing that they can do to make him be like that was a good way to bring him back. They made they made too big of a deal, and then they made movies with the plot being with Tony gone.
Yeah.
How did they cope with this?
Well, he has been going for a while now.
I mean, that's fine. I just for me watching it, that means that everyone's got a safety net. Which in that world, technically they do, because there's so much magic and galactic forces and stuff that I'm sure there's and like the Infinity Stones and stuff. They can go to another timeline and grab theirs and bring it back technically or something. There's too much magic and
I wish
stuff.
you guys have been watching Loki, man, because there's a lot of stuff that happened in that show that this stuff touches on.
Well, I mean, the finale is this week, so I'm gonna probably try to binge it this week.
We're watching it separate or together, so I know.
Probably separate. I don't
Okay.
know. I already have so many things backlogged, so I'm like adding more schedule stuff is like, eesh.
So the whole time that he's talking about like people dying and like how far do you have to go? All I can think of is Jujutsu Kaisen, where he literally pulls out his own heart
Oh yeah.
and crushes it, and then just like he's like, oh yeah, I'm fine.
It is.
He's literally a corpse on the table, and then just pops back up.
So that's why it's always depending on the world and the world rules. So like that, if with Marvel they've been getting bigger and bigger. It's like the things they can possibly do in this world, and so it's at the point where it's galactic. So, and now they're jumping through timelines and stuff, and like the power of the Infinity Stone can literally delete half of existence. Like for me, the MCU like they have too many safety nets for me now. If someone dies, it's like okay, where before this massive and like before Infinity War and Endgame, it was like if they die, they're dead. You know what I'm saying? But now they have so much stuff they can try, I guess, write in there. It's getting to comic book levels, like you said. They always write the character back in some way.
At least with comics, usually they do it tastefully. Either the whole world gets rebooted, or like, I guess with like Wolverine's sake, he was dead for like a decade, like not coming back, and then they did something with him.
They also do a lot of timeline stuff where they'll like go off of it and be like, haha, just kidding, that was actually this branch, not the one that we've been talking about this whole time,
Yeah.
Like
I heard Logan was in 616. I heard that was a different
like
universe.
You talking about the movie Logan?
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's once X-Men went to Fox, I'm assuming MCU is going to treat it as a different time.
I'm assuming that the one that Marvel does is going to be 616.
Yes. I would imagine so. Well, no, 616. Marvel MCU is different than 616.
It is?
Yeah, comic book 616
No,
is its own thing.
not.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
It's been
I
confirmed.
don't want to say
already
that
before.
They may have changed. They may have changed things, but there's confirmation in shows that this is 616.
Okay,
Said
well,
in movies and from Kevin Feige what it is, Ren.
Huh?
they have its own. It has its own numbers.
They've confirmed this years ago that it's its own thing.
Okay, I get what you guys are telling me, but I am telling you, in some shows, there is literal confirmation because it says it in words and letters that this universe is 616. But you'll find out. I don't want to spoil anything, but I'm just telling you what I saw with my own eyes.
Okay. So Black Widow. Kelsey, what do you think of Black Widow? We haven't heard his thoughts on this.
I liked it. I felt like they tried too hard to be funny with some stuff, because like Black Widow's always been a more serious character, and some like the Red Guardian, he was a great character, but I feel like they tried to use him as the comedic relief in a way that it just didn't land for me.
Okay.
All in all, the movie was great. Like, I thought it was awesome. Did you guys see the little thing at the very end of the credits?
Yeah, we saw the post-credits scene.
I'm a little confused about that. Like Shannon and I were talking about it because it's like it's true, but not really true because of how everything just played out. So I'm not really sure how this is going to go down. But it does open up the possibility for like her taking up the mantle of Black Widow. So
That's-
yes,
I want to say my theory, but I don't know if we're allowed to say flat out spoilers.
I will. How about we do the following? We say our non-spoiler stuff, then we'll say spoilers, and that's it. And then I'll tell them when the thing at the bottom says "not Black Widow," you can come back and watch it.
Well, what he says is that technically a spoiler?
I
Because
mean,
a spoiler would be like he actually saw it on screen, and then he's telling what he saw.
Well, I'm gonna be spoiling Winter Soldier with my theory.
Oh, bro, go have at it. Winter Soldier. If you haven't watched Winter Soldier, you're behind.
The movie Winter Soldier?
The show.
Oh, Captain Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Brian, you can't just say the Winter Soldier like that.
Yeah.
Like those are two different things.
Yeah.
I didn't say
Go
Captain
ahead.
America, the Winter Soldier. You just assume the movie.
That's something you let us to do. Is assume. That's what I'm telling you. Be more specific. I mean, spoilers for yes, but let's do non-spoiler stuff first, and then we'll move on to spoilers, I guess. I guess that's it. I guess if that's all you have, Kelsey, then we can move on to the spoilers then.
Yeah, I mean, all in all, like it was really awesome. I was a little disappointed in a lot of the fight scenes. I had forgotten about the sister fight scene.
Yeah.
When Natasha takes on, so a bunch of other widows, that was cool. I feel like they could have done
More.
a little more, with a lot of different things, but
That's kind of my review for this. They could have done more.
yeah.
Go ahead, Kelsey.
Like I said in the beginning, I feel like they tried to put too much into the movie, because there was like a bunch of backstory, and then there was the currents, and then there's like the side stuff with the sister, and then taking down the whole organization and everything, and it's just like you could have just focused on something and then done that, and then maybe left in a few of the things as like, oh, maybe in the next movie or in the future or something.
Or maybe next episode? This could have been... I think this would have worked better as a TV show.
I honestly thought it was going to be. I thought it was supposed to be. I thought it was supposed to be Loki, Black Widow, the Winter, Falcon and Winter Soldier. And, because if they had made it a TV show, that would have been incredible. They could have focused on all this stuff individually and, like, really ironed out everything over, like, 12 episodes. And it would have been great, But...
fucking focused on the actually interesting part of Black Widow, the Red Room.
Yeah.
But no, let's make Spy Kids. Everything they put in that movie, it was like, we don't give a shit about this character. She's not coming back anyways. Let's just do a safe family movie. Taskmaster, an entire joke.
Oh my god, we haven't touched on Taskmaster.
What did Black Widow actually do in this movie?
Not much. It was most everybody else,
Yeah, the whole plan thing, it worked because her parents, her mother, she was saved by her sister. Everything was, all the big parts was someone else they just introduced. Instead of paying homage to a character who's been in the MCU for like the longest time.
Almost as long as Tony.
These new characters, give them all the credit.
I
They could have focused on they should have made it a show. They should have focused on the Red Room itself, which is the more important part. Like, just her going through that, and then, I guess, end it the way that they did, like that last scene, the last credit scene, that could have been the last scene of the whole show. Like, them paying homage to her dying. But everything else was just like, why spend money, so much money on this movie, and not care?
Does it bother you guys if, like, how what game does that?
Does what?
I'm pretty sure there's a game that does that.
What?
I mean, it does do it in Uncharted, but it's not very long. Like, how do you guys feel about, like, having, like, a good portion of the movie be in one time period and then the rest of the movie in a different time period? So, like, what I was thinking was kind of along the lines of what Brian was saying. Like, I thought that this movie was going to be about Natasha being recruited, or I should say aggressively taken to be in the Red Room. And then I thought it was going to end with her altercation with Barton trying to kill her, and then them and us actually seeing what happened, and then finding out what actually happened in Budapest, because they always like mention it. Like, I thought it was going to be I thought that's what it was going to be. I thought it was going to be Red Room, then time was going to advance, and then we're going to actually see what happened between her and Barton, because Barton was supposed to kill her, but then he didn't. And then this whole thing that happened in Budapest, I thought we was going to see all of that, but we didn't. And I'm just thinking, like, in order to do that, you have to show her at one timeline where she's like younger, and she's going through the training and dealing with the Red Room and all.
Which it started off that way.
Exactly. And then the rest of the movie will be her older, because now at this point she is a Black Widow. And then she has the run-in with Barton, and then you go through the whole them, I guess, working out some sort of deal, and then them working together to, I forget the main bad guy's name.
I forgot his name too.
But
Dracoff,
yeah. Yeah, them like dealing with him in Budapest or whatever. That's what I thought the movie was
I
going.
don't know. Would you just pitch to me? That would have been great. Go ahead, Brian. Sorry.
No, that would have been a great way to put an actual bow or some kind of meaning to this running gag, and instead, did they even say the name of the British guy with the petrol and here's a random helicopter?
I think so.
I don't think so. I don't remember him saying
so much filler bullshit.
I completely forgot. Yeah.
I remember which one of you said it when we watched it. What they did to Deadpool in the X-Men Origin Wolverine movie, they did the Taskmaster in this movie.
Yeah.
Hey,
I think
this guy who has photogenic like muscle memory, visor.
Does he have enhanced strength? I don't know much about him.
He's strong. I think he's also a super soldier. Like he has super soldier.
So he's
strength
strong like Cap?
that I can recall. I could be wrong on that.
talking about Taskmaster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Supposed to.
Be, yeah.
I'm just thinking that, I mean, even though the first pitch, the first thing I mentioned earlier would have been cool. I mean, it would have been cool to see her fight him, but in his original form, like as like he's not good because of technology. He's good because he has muscle memory, photogenic muscle memory. So like it'd have been really cool to see her beat him, because she has all these different skills.
Yeah. And it's not, my tech's better than yours.
Yeah.
The other thing too is he has a personality. He's a dude from like the Bronx, and like he's not like Deadpool funny, but he's a wise ass. They should have saved Taskmaster for when they make an actual Falcon movie or the new Captain America movie. Because then they could have did it along the lines of a lot of times in the comics, Taskmaster has his own like mercenary training camp, boot camp. So it would have been interesting to do that versus a soldier that was trained under like the tutelage of Cap and did something along those lines. But they just threw the idea of Taskmaster in this without any second thought as to if, does this fit? They could have did so many things is the main part, and they chose Spy Kids.
I don't even know why they initiated the Taskmaster program, because like they're like, I want to initiate this. And he's like, okay. And then some random person just kind of shows up and is like, I'm gonna beat your ass. And that was it. It was like, you don't even really know who this person is. I don't know that they ever like referenced them by the name Taskmaster. They just said they want to do the Taskmaster Initiative, which could just be the name of the plan or could be 1,000 other things, but
that's true. She was never referenced as Taskmaster. It was just the program. And then there's like, oh, look who it actually is.
The sister called one time in the movie. The sister called him. She even called it a him. She was like, "It's Taskmaster," because she was explaining to Natasha who he was, and she referred to him as Taskmaster.
I don't even remember that.
But I thought it was funny because she called it. She actually called it a him.
And oh wow, that's funny because Janiana was watching it and she was like, "That was clearly a woman," because she saw it when she came in. She's like, "That's a girl in a suit."
Oh really?
Yeah. She's like, "That's a girl," and I'm like, "So why was you
like the first time he showed up, or they showed up?"
Yeah. So it's funny that she said him when the viewer was like, "That's a girl."
Yeah.
She went off, put it down. The post credit scene, I guess the spoiler that I wanted to mention. What I took as the significance with what's her name, Valentina, purple streaked
Yes.
Elaine.
Mm-hmm.
Being
Elaine.
there is the same thing I had thought when she showed up in The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, the show, and not the movie.
Uh-huh.
They're setting up the Dark Avengers, where we don't have Norm Osborn yet. Maybe he'll be in the third Spider-Man. At this point, no one knows it's gonna be in Spider-Man. People just assuming rumors are one to one what's gonna happen. Despite actors saying, "I'm not in this."
Is that what they're doing? Is setting up a Dark Avengers?
That's
Because
what
that
I'm thinking.
that's what I said to Shannon. I was like, I'm pretty sure she's setting up some sort of anti-hero task force. You know, like,
or it could be the Thunderbolts.
The Thunderbolts.
what did you say to me?
The Thunderbolts, the Ross's team.
Perhaps because he was
Because he's like surrounded in everything. He was in the beginning of the movie. He's the one that's going after Natasha.
Yeah,
but they're not showing Ross when it comes to potentially recruiting these people. Like we're getting
because I think he has. I think Madam Hydra is working for him.
Is that who that woman is?
Yeah.
Why would she be working for the? What? That would be because he would be working for her.
Because if you remember in
Captain or
Falcon and the Winter Soldier, when she speaks to U.S. agent, that's what his name is now.
Yeah.
She mentions that her boss is someone in the government.
Oh, that's the only one we currently know, I guess.
Yeah.
I still don't think that's the case, only because Yelena is Black Widow in the Dark Avengers in the comics.
Dark Widow? That's what she's called herself?
No.
Oh.
What?
I think
Black Widow and the.
I think my brain mixed the two things you just said.
Yeah.
I'm like Widow.
She's her replacement for the Dark Avengers. U.S. Agent isn't, but since we don't have Norm and Osborn to be Iron Patriot, I guess we're just gonna get. He looks old. Like I know he's a young dude, but when he has that helmet on, he looks like the old guy from Up. Every time I see him,
He
I don't know if
does.
it's costume design or just awful choice, but I don't see it whatsoever. That'll be our next Captain America. In what year?
The 60s.
Yes, that's what I think they're setting up. We don't have a Wolverine replacement.
Well,
we still don't have Red Hulk as a thing.
That's another thing I was thinking about.
Excuse me,
Ross, is because this is just me spitballing again, but like he looks like
he's about to die.
Yeah, something's wrong with him, and even Natasha mentioned something about so I'm thinking like he's going to get to the point where he starts experimenting on himself, and that's when he's going to become Red Hulk.
Well, I mean, that would be great.
But that's I don't know.
Oh, that's who that's supposed to be. I was like, that dude looks really familiar, but I only remember him from some of the most recent movies, not from.
He's from the Hulk.
Yeah.
He's
now that you mention it, I'm like, oh yeah, that's that guy. That's the woman's dad that hates Bruce.
Exactly.
And isn't
they gave Hulk a movie again?
Isn't Abomination part of the Thunderbolts?
Is he? I don't know.
Remember.
I haven't read Thunderbolts.
And I think it's really weird that he's in Shang-Chi.
Then maybe they're probably doing that too. Then they might be setting up with him.
Abomination's in Shang-Chi.
From the trailer.
Yeah.
It looks like it's him.
But I don't think he has like a major role. It's just like one of those.
Like a cameo.
Yeah. He's fighting what's his name?
Wong.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Oh, thanks for that.
I mean, you'll be fine. I guess that's it. I mean, we haven't done our recommendations, so I don't know why I said to do spoilers now. But either way, yeah, I recommend it. It's something for the Black Widow. You get to see the setup for future stuff. You get to see new characters. I personally loved Alexei. He was the one that made me laugh the most because of his fucking accent and the dumb shit he was saying. Yelena was cool. The mom was cool. I don't know.
I really want to see more stuff with the sister.
Yelena.
Mm-hmm.
And that leads into Brian's gripe. Watching this movie, I want to see more of other people than Black Widow, than Scarlet Witch's character, because they didn't do anything to add to her repertoire, I guess.
That was the main reason why I watched it again. Unfortunately, no disrespect to Natasha.
Yeah, like it's not a movie about her, unfortunately.
All her I mean, they weren't like Deadpool funny, but like even the stuff that she was saying were actually funny.
The pose stuff always made me laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, the pose stuff was fucking hilarious. And then when she does it out of the bed, she's like,
ugh,
Yeah.
disgusting.
And then immediately spinning snap neck into sweep kick to get it out of her system.
Yeah. It's good.
Yeah.
That move was so nasty, man. When I saw it, I was like,
good.
oh!
Yeah, you heard
That joke was sick.
Did it make you sick? Was she sick with it?
She was sick with it. Like,
Okay.
That joke was I almost felt like, I don't know, man. I feel like in the fight, I feel like she would beat Natasha.
I mean, they were tied. What are you talking about? We saw that fight already.
It looked like Natasha won because she yielded. She was like truce because she was choking her out.
Oh, right.
If she hadn't had a truce, she'd have like passed out.
Oh, then that means Natasha would have won.
But that's what I'm saying.
Weren't they both coughing? Weren't they both
Nah.
struggling?
No, Natasha caught her with the.
They both
with
had the thing around their neck, but Natasha actually had it like tightened around her neck, and she was like passing out. She was like red, and that's when she was like truce.
So Randall, it's 1-0. So if me a statistics man, Natasha will beat her 100% of the time. 100% of the time.
I guess maybe experience beats out skill.
I guess. Or having.
And she has been running with the big boys for who knows how long.
10 years? 9 years?
She got the Hulk horny, so.
That's true.
That's
Not many people can do that. He's usually just angry or not there. Mm-hmm. She added an entire second emotion.
Angry or depressed. Those are the two sides of the Hulk.
And then she added a third one. Yep.
Which, if they made Planet Hulk, you would have seen that happen, but it's a Thor movie.
I have no regrets. That movie was fucking fantastic for me.
Back to Black Widow. Do I recommend it? If you've seen literally everything from Marvel prior, yes. If you've been picking and choosing, pick to skip this.
Yeah, I'm actually behind that. Yeah, if you've been watching everything, obviously watch this. But if
not
you
even for her sister.
No, because we're gonna see her. This was a setup to see her later. So
but she gave such a good performance, though.
I guess.
Well, if you like her in the Hawkeye thing that they're clearly hinting to, watch her.
Then watch
Elena's movie that came out, and then we'll go back and watch that.
She'll definitely be making an appearance. She might be the antagonist for. It's gonna be like So this sounds like Hawkeye is gonna be another Fast and the Furious TV show. It's gonna be Hawkeye teaching Kate Bishop. Kate Bishop's like fighting against Yelena. And then they're going to be like, no, the big baddie's over there. They join forces, become family, and then outrace the enemy, whoever the hell it's going to be.
It could be like a papa-daughter dynamic, and then Red Guardian and Yelena versus Hawkeye and Hawkeye again.
Yeah, it's going to be two Hawkeyes.
Do you think they would kill him?
Barton?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. But then again, we're getting to the point where safety nets, like... At this point, I don't believe anyone's going to die anymore in MCU.
Well, I think Natasha's dead.
Well, she died before this. Everything after...
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like you said, but you said people have safety nets. I don't think she has a safety net. I don't think she's coming back.
Well, that's because of things that outside of the movies. She's just done playing Scarlet Witch. Or I keep saying Scarlet Witch because her name's Scarlett Johansson.
Oh, she doesn't want to play Black Widow anymore?
I don't know if she wants to, but I think her contract's up. That's the same thing that happened with Evans, right? Or am I getting that mixed up?
Well, he was just whatever about it. I think he just didn't want to anymore.
Chris Evans didn't want to anymore. He was tired of the regimen of having to be big, to be, to working out all the time and that kind of stuff. He wanted to do something else.
Gotcha.
I hate being sexy.
Yeah. Wow.
Well, I mean, the amount of time and effort and things that he puts into looking the way he is, and he's like every movie, he's got to be bigger and bigger and bigger. Like Chris
Hemsworth,
Thor's the same way.
Chris Hemsworth.
What?
Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah, he
is the same way.
He like doubted himself. I was like, no, you got it. It's Chris.
Okay.
I couldn't remember. I couldn't remember his last name, so I was like Thor. Thor is the same way. He's like, I'm tired of always like having to have my shirt off and just basically be a sex symbol for this. So
But he's not tired of working out. The man has its own workout program. So, like, I know it's not the working out part. I
If
can
you
see
see
the
him
sex
now-
symbol stuff.
You see him now, whatever movie he's doing. Is he Hulk Hogan, where he's fucking?
Yeah, he's
huge with
getting
a
huge
wide?
for Hulk Hogan. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what makes me happy about this? I haven't seen any trailer or anything. Randy Savage has to be in this movie because you can't get Hulk Hogan without him. Who's gonna be Randy Savage?
I don't know. Did they already announce who's in it?
I haven't seen anything.
I don't know who it is, but all I'm saying is, if they do a Hulk Hogan movie and there's no Randy Savage, if
We
I
got
watched
problems.
it for free, I want a refund.
I get that. That's fair.
He was in the original Spider-Man.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm. You
I
ain't
have you
going
for
nowhere.
3 minutes. It's me time.
You ain't going nowhere.
Nowhere.
I'm the cream of the crop.
Yeah,
It's from actual WWF.
I'm sure. You know, that's performance at an all-time high. Even though it's corny, it's like, you know. How about you, Kelsey? You give a recommendation here? Maybe some requirements here before the recommendation?
I mean, if you really like Black Widow or you've been following everything, definitely give it a watch because it was like, well, because like the thing was is that I thought it was going to be like a whole movie surrounding Black Widow,
Mm-hmm.
and it really wasn't. It was
Mhm.
like it was the family aspect of it, and then they gave hints at the Red Room, and then they had the Taskmaster, and then they had some others, and then they had the Red Guardian or Red whatever the fuck his name is.
You got it.
You got it.
It is Red Guardian.
Trust
you
your
have it.
stuff, man.
There's nothing stronger than family, Brian.
Yeah, he hasn't gotten the memo yet from all the memes that the internet's been vomiting at us.
I mean, like I said, I feel like they tried to do Spider-Man 3 this. There was just too much going on, and if they had made it a TV series, they could have done all this. They could have had like, shut up,
What the hell?
wife
Peanut
yelling,
Gallery?
nobody wants
Got
to
it.
watch a TV series.
Tell that to the Emmys.
Yeah, right.
There's an
But,
entire
like-
fucking award ceremony for TV.
The first episode could have been on them, being the family and then leaving, and then the second episode could have been on her in the Red Room going through the training, and then the third one could have been her and Barton,
Yeah.
in Budapest and doing whatever they were doing, and then maybe they started showing the sister. They could have had 12 episodes. 6. Even if they weren't an hour long, if they were only half an hour long, they could have had 6 full hours of actually like showing content. And I feel like they tried to shove way too much into a 2.5 hour movie.
It was like 2 hours and 10 minutes or something.
Yeah.
You
For what
they
it
could have
was.
done as well too. Instead of Budapest being there for one truce fight and then they left. I don't remember if it's the last season. Do you guys remember? Did you guys watch the Daredevil season when they introduced Bullseye? Is that the third one?
Yes.
The best episode in Daredevil history is that episode where they give you the backstory to Bullseye. He's in the same room the entire time, but he's playing all the tapes, and then they just show you the scene playing out while he's listening.
Mhm.
And from that episode alone, you get the entire character. You know what kind of person he is. You know what's gonna happen next. They could have used them staying in Budapest in 2 ways. Showed the whole dynamic of Hawkeye and Black Widow, and or just used it as glimpses of them just sitting there talking or whatever, and showing them as kids in the Red Room, or just using either one of those stories that they didn't really give us in that one scene and made it actually mean something. Since they didn't give us anything for Budapest besides arrow holes. Truce?
Those are facts. Okay. Randall?
Mhm.
I think Kelsey said his recommendation, so what are you thinking?
I recommend it.
Fully, no matter who it is?
I mean,
I'm trying to
if you're watching Marvel movies, yeah.
just okay.
I mean, you've watched the rest of them. You might as well, why stop here?
I don't know. I get it. Yeah, what if they haven't watched any of the Marvel movies?
Then why are you watching this?
Because a film's a film. It should be able to stand on its own.
Oh, on its own. I don't know if you can watch this movie on its own because there's so much information that's like riding on stuff that's happened before.
Okay.
So I think for a person who's just like not watched these type of movies to go and try to watch this movie, they're gonna
be lost.
They're gonna walk out with a lot of like, I don't. Where's your clip? I don't get it.
I don't get it. I haven't set it up because I'm redoing a bunch of stuff here. Sorry.
So
I can reenact it if you want.
Go for it.
I don't get it.
Oh,
That was solid.
before you move on, let me know.
Uh-huh.
I want to tell you something.
Go for it.
I like the.
Oh wait, not yet.
I was just,
No,
yeah.
go ahead.
I just one last thing I was going to mention is that I like the fact that the red room was in the air.
I don't know. I
different.
didn't like that, man.
Why?
That shit was so. That was one of these thoughts. What if it flies? That's how they thought of that.
Why do you guys not like that?
I didn't like it because the red room is supposed to be a really Russian thing. Like I thought it was.
And what is that supposed to mean? Like they don't have advancements in technology?
No, because it was made back in the day, so it's like I would imagine it's like a hidden underground like society kind of thing where it's like out of people's eyes. Not we just threw it in space. All right.
I mean that's
right. Like I don't know.
That is hidden though.
Sure.
I mean, okay, think about it. If you're looking for somebody, the first thing you would do is use radar or satellite. And what's the first place you're gonna pick to look? Land.
In the sky, because it's a satellite.
But I don't know if like the satellite has some sort of cloaking or I don't know how that works. But for whatever reason, it can't be detected while it's in the air.
Then it could be on the land by the same technology, Randall. Like that's not an excuse.
Really?
Like you live in MCU at year 12. I don't know what year this takes place. 1990, when whatever Black was still alive.
I would agree with you if it was something similar to like how they do ninjas. Like usually a ninja facility, well, not facility.
A ninja facility? You mean a temple or something?
A ninja temple is usually like hidden on the side of some mountain that you cannot get to unless you either. I don't know if you could usually even climb to it. It's usually you have to like parachute. Yeah, parachute into that junk, man. Like,
no, for me that's not. This is like espionage. Like this is stuff like that government hides people. Like they have the tech to scramble whatever radar.
So,
like,
but where would it be at though?
It doesn't matter. It just needs to be.
If it's MIB as well.
Yeah, like think MIB. Where? Like all those agents and stuff that hide. Like it. Yeah, the building's there, but they have stuff in secret hidden somewhere like underground or in a remote location, some
but
desert.
Wouldn't that
like
be the first place you would check? It's underground.
You can't just walk up at the places, Randall. You act like people are just out there with like the metal detectors. You're not allowed on a certain area. You can't get there. You get shot.
Well, I'm not talking about regular civilians. I'm talking about like because he said they was trying to remain undetected from the eyes of SHIELD, and at that point when SHIELD was like fully operational, they had jurisdiction everywhere. Yeah,
but if you have the tech to scramble their things, why not? But that's why this made sense. But I'm like, ugh. Because yeah, technically, SHIELD at the timeline that this or not the when this movie was happening, SHIELD was already destroyed. So I guess that makes sense why they're in the air and no one can see them. But
I thought it was different. That's why I liked it.
I'm like, oh, okay, they just threw some more CG at me. Got it.
You know who else would have done that?
You know,
having the base in the air.
Go.
Spy Kids.
Yeah, I don't know. I was.
No, man. If it was me, I would probably pick the air too.
The building looked cool in the air. I'm like, oh, that looks cool. But then I'm like, really?
Because
I think it was kind of a lazy.
For me, it felt lazy.
It's smart. You're able to easily be mobile.
So think about
you can fly anywhere. Versus like if you on land. Okay, I get it. The Earth is a huge place, and there's like thousands of terrain underground that haven't even been discovered. Okay, I get that. But I'm just saying, let's say in the off chance they do discover one of your facilities, like that facility is not compromised. And if you don't have other ones, then what do? You gotta go build another base of operations somewhere else. Versus like if you have something that's mobile, you can always move around.
But you're also telling me that their ship was just undetectable by Tony Stark and Vision in the air. I don't believe that. To me, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Well, they also said in the movie that they made sure that they did things that stayed off the radar of the Avengers, so they wouldn't do things that raised the half.
That's what did they do, Randall?
Huh?
What did they do?
What do you mean?
VPNs.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. You see how lazy that is? Oh, we just did things that Avengers couldn't do. What did you do?
No.
moving on.
No. You're misunderstanding me. They said that they did the operations that they did. They made sure that they were so low key that they were. It's kind of like in Spider-Man when he was like they're like different levels of events. Like this is an Avengers level event.
It's not an Omega threat level.
Well, they call it an Avenger level event, meaning like it's so bad that the Avengers will come. So he was saying that he would make sure that all his widows did things that was so low key that they weren't high enough that they would pop up on a Avengers radar.
Okay, but the thing is, they have to be in space to do low key stuff.
They weren't in space though.
They have to be floating above everything. Oh, now we can do low key things they wouldn't notice. As opposed to being in a building.
What you're understanding from us, Randall, is that how did they build that monstrosity without nobody knowing?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm not saying that the plan was like 100% the most intelligent thing ever. I'm just saying that it's different because you can't argue with me when I say secret facility. The first place you think of what is somewhere underground.
That doesn't stop it from being secret.
I never said it was. It did, but I'm just saying your brain immediately thinks somewhere underground
because
right?
it makes sense.
Whatever. But the point of the fact of the matter, the fact of the matter is, you think on the ground. I'm just saying, I like it for the sheer fact that it's different. I'm not saying that it's a better idea.
It's not different.
I'm just saying that I like it. It is different because it's not on the ground.
The helicarrier was already that in motion.
Okay.
So they just went higher.
Yeah, but the helicarrier is not a training facility. It's a battleship.
They trained on there.
I was not aware of this. Only thing I know of is that they had like personnel and ships and like I didn't know they had a training.
When you're in the military,
facility.
you train every day. There's a room to work out. They run. I'm assuming on there. Like that's you don't just get to the helicarrier and just start fucking watching TV. Like they train on it every day. They have shifts for this.
I don't know if they was. I didn't know.
You're talking about the thing from.
Like what the Shield used to have, the helicarrier.
I thought it was just like a regular battleship. Yeah,
all they did when they were up there is they played
Galaga.
Galaga. That guy's playing Galaga.
He thought we wouldn't notice, but we did.
We did. I don't know. Again, that's just me. That is not different to me because Hellcarrier was already there and it was cloaked. That thing didn't even cloak. It was just flying in space. So again, it was cool. I like if that was a wallpaper, I'd put that on my desktop. But
you would elect to have your secret facility on ground.
That's not what I would like. Is that this didn't make sense to me? How was that possible?
That's more logical to me.
You know, that doesn't make any sense with this, like the context of what's been happening in the MCU. All these freaking entities that are watching that can detect shit, and you're telling me they were able to create that massive thing without anybody knowing?
Maybe they thought it was something else.
Come on, Randall.
What? I don't know, man. Like I don't know who's in charge of checking to see who's building what.
Field was.
Yeah, but if it looks like they're just building something that's like I don't know for whatever reason, not a training facility to kill people.
The other thing too is if you think about it, setting this up, they didn't build it in the air. They probably built it on the ground and had it so that it can fly up and be where it is. So a big ass fucking. Whatever the hell this is, it's not there to go to help you. This is like everyone would fucking know this is being built.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, the only thing that I can think of that would argue Randall's case is that, Dreykov had like what looked like thousands of widows, just everywhere, and said he could do almost anything. So he could have had them planted in Shield and all these other places that wouldn't have noticed. I don't know how he would have gotten around
or something. Yeah, I can see.
Yeah, I don't know how they would have gotten around Tony. Looking at stuff, but Tony may not have been looking for the Red Room or Dreykov because they thought that he was dead with when Natasha defected. So I mean, there are things that can explain it, but
here's another thing. This is before Thanos bodied everyone.
Yeah.
What does Heimdall do with his eyes? See everything.
Mm-hmm.
You don't think, hey, Thor's with the Avengers, and he's my friend? No, I'm gonna keep it peep.
I'm pretty sure there's a lot of things that Heimdall might have saw and didn't say anything.
He's a pervert. Again, cool. It looked cool.
Because
I saw it. And
you can argue the case with like he would have known about Thanos from the very beginning if that was the case. He wouldn't have waited until like he started going for the stones.
Into the stone too.
Like when he was talking to Ronan about the stones.
Mm-hmm.
Heimdall, I'm pretty sure Heimdall could have saw that. Like this dude is looking for stones.
We should stop this.
We need to keep a close eye on this. Or we should stop.
We need to stop this immediately.
Yeah.
I don't know. Again, it looks cool. Whatever. It served its purpose. When I saw it in the air, I'm like, I don't buy it. None of it was like, that's how. It was, what?
Even on
that's
top
what my
of
reaction
that,
was.
Sending out units would be a bunch of like jets coming out of one place in the air, as opposed to being on land. Cars are discreet. No one, if you see a car behind next to you, you're not like, oh, that's Bobby Blake. You don't know who
But I
that
think
is.
the thing is in the air is just for trainees.
Yeah.
Because remember when at the end she had like a map of where all of them are at? Once they're dispatched, they stay on Earth, it looked like.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you see how many are there.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm
And
sure it's
he
just
said,
one.
Like he said, a hell of a lot of widows he has. They all had to be trained.
Yeah, they all get trained there and then sent back in like one shuttle, not like 1,000 of them in different places.
You don't question, hey, this flying taxi.
Well, no, I'm with you. This thing is already like a major red flag. I'm like, how?
I mean, you can, if you want to continue to go down the rabbit hole, you could just say that they were using the same technology that the helicarrier uses, cloaking or whatever, or jamming signals to hide the fact that they're like transporting to and from this facility.
And that's what I'm saying.
People found the helicarrier though.
People, yeah, that's one thing. But second, that comes back to they're just, hey, this one line, they'll suspend their disbelief and then move on. That's what I don't like about it. Because then at that point, it's like, how did it get up there? Don't worry about it.
All right,
and
so
and I'm like, okay, well, I guess don't worry about it. So it's not a huge thing for me, but it's like,
all right, so let's do this. Let's do this.
Ooh, what we do? Don't put it further away, Randall, because that's the mic. You need that closer to you, not further away.
How would you fix the problem? So let's say Kevin Feige came to you and said, "We want to use this idea. How would you fix it? How would you make it?" But before you answer, you cannot say it would be better on ground. He says that it has to be in air. How would you fix it so that it's believable and not?
My first question is, show me the movie before this idea, and that would be like and scrap it. That would have been my first thought. And he's like, but we spent too much. Then I would be like, all right, what you do is you just tether this to another building in some kind of way. As in, like, you use it, you don't move it. It's like some kind of building that has access, maybe not shoot people up, but like, I guess.
Shoot and launches them out of a cannon. Just
yeah, Randall, what are your thoughts on Mach 10 into space? What do you think?
Shoot the spies.
It sounds like this is going in the wrong direction.
Yeah. You want to get shot down, Mach 10?
No, I mean, like, the idea is supposed to be better, not worse.
I mean, anything's better than what they did.
No, it wasn't that bad. Like, it just, when I saw it, I was like, okay, we're just going to have to like Brian says, Spy Kid / Fast and the Furious. It's like, look at our evil layer.
So you just don't like the fact that it was in the air?
No, I didn't care. I don't care either way. It's just that when it comes to what it could have done better, stick to what it is. The roots of that Red Room is like underground Russian, like,
but they never said it was underground.
Not literally underground. Like it's like governments don't know that it's happening. Like underground.
You think that because it's in the air that there's no way it can
like,
go undetected?
Yeah, like to me that sounds silly.
It seems like with the writing, because we saw it was a building, and then it got literally tactical nuke incoming, and he's like, "We can go do space or in the air." We must go in air, and then I was like, fuck it, let's do it.
It's just I guess it might be because of movies and like previous movies and previous like games and stuff that I played that it's in Russia. When I think Russia, I think cold, secluded, dark. This shit is like you got to be tough to survive.
Which is great because
and then
that throws you off. Exactly, it throws you. You got to remember this is supposed to be a place that no one could find, and so far everything that you're thinking is not where they're at.
That doesn't make it good for me.
What do you mean?
Because it doesn't match.
Is always better.
Yeah, different. Just because it's different doesn't mean like.
But I'm talking about in terms of being a secret. So everything that you're thinking would make sense for being a secret place is not where they're at, which is what they're trying to accomplish to surprise you. You would not think they would be in the air.
But that's my problem. They're just trying to surprise me, not because they did it clever. They were just like, we just throw it in space.
See, what clever is, that's
Subjective.
yeah.
And I agree with you, but I saw it. I'm like, nah, thanks. I mean, okay, it's in the air. This magnificent work of machinery that's flying in the air. No one but this guy.
It just threw me off because I was thinking like you were thinking. I was thinking like Cold World, dark, not super clean place, like
their prison
somewhere
was
underground type thing. That's what I was thinking. And then when I saw it was in the air, I was like, wow, I definitely did not see that coming.
Go ahead, Kelsey. I have something to add after you say your thing.
So, like, I feel like the prison that they broke him out of was a very good representation of what you kind of think of with that. It's like,
yeah,
in the middle of nowhere. There's snow everywhere. It's freezing outside. A lot of it's underground. It looks very,
deserted. Like no one's.
Yeah,
that to me was like.
Okay, what about the prison that Ross has the people in? Like he takes.
We're talking about the one that's out in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah, the one that's like that's submerged under the ocean.
What's it called? I keep forgetting. It's not the raft. Is it the raft?
I think it is called.
That's something.
Or is the raft the New York one?
I think that's the New York. I don't know anymore what they call shit, whatever they want to call it.
Yeah, I don't know, but I think I know what you're talking about. What about it?
What if it was something like that?
That makes more sense to me.
That makes more sense.
Again, this is all just, it logically makes sense to me. That's all. On seeing it, I can be like, okay, I can put one and one together. But just
the key factor is no way out. Like with where Red Guardian was or on the raft, no way out. Here, hijack a ship. There's plenty of them. Like there's multiple things you could have done to get out of the Red Room. It looked like.
Well, yes and no, because they were mentally like they were. When you're there, you already got the implant until you get the gas. So yes,
yeah, but that's
no.
what I'm saying. Like, and
that's another thing.
Oh my God, Randall.
No, what Brian said just made such an excellent point. That could have been a really key moment in the movie that explained how the heck Natasha got out.
Oh,
Natasha didn't need the gas to get out.
But we don't know how. But we don't know how she got out.
She wasn't.
That's
one of the
my
gas
point.
Ones, though.
She wasn't. So they explained that sort of. They manipulated her mind like very much like Jason Bourne, and then her sister and everybody else has a chemical that like forces them to do stuff, and she just kind of broke the mind control, I guess. Yeah, and left.
Winter Soldier.
Yeah, but I'm saying it's not like, oh, I don't want to be here today. I'm just going to walk out the front door. Like,
you want to see her escape? Is what you're saying. Got
like
it.
See her go through the process of like he said, break the mind control and.
That could have been an episode.
Yeah,
you're thinking about. You're on a different timeline right now. You're on the timeline where we got a movie. There's a timeline where this was a show. We're not on that one. That's the timeline you want to jump to. That would have been great. These are great.
The only thing that scares me about TV shows is the quality. I mean, so far, Loki's quality has been good. Falcon Winter Soldier quality been good. So I guess it's not really a fear. It's just that sometimes when they do TV shows, they tend to dial back on the quality of stuff.
Because it costs a lot more. Because it's how much millions per episode. And they try to keep it consistent throughout. It gets expensive. So I don't know. Again, not a huge problem. I just saw it and I was just like, all right, it's in space, and I just moved on from it. It was that's not a
WWSKD. What would Spy Kids do?
It looked like a fucking what is it? The Justice League's the League of Doom. Like that
Legion of Doom.
Legion of Doom. I'm like, this is the space version of it.
I was looking it up. I was looking that up. I was like, I feel like if they had gone in the water, it would have been more believable rather than being up in the sky like this. Because I'm like, there's no way that they would be able to get that up into the air. Like, first of all, it would take them years to build. Second, there's no way that they would be able to hide it for that long without somebody knowing to get up into the air. Like, at least in the water or going underground, you can kind of do it without like drawing a lot of attention to yourselves, because they already have a ton of shit that goes into the ground. They could have masked it as like another mine or a prison or something like that, and worked it that way. But that thing was fucking huge.
And that ship was too. My God, dude, it was like in the air and it was just massive. I'm here all week. I don't even know how we got to this. How we got here. I think you were saying if you recommended it, right? You said yeah. You said yeah. I'm kind of on the same boat with Brian. Like, if you've been watching all the MCUs, watch it. It's great supplementary MCU characters. You get new ones. Sets up more shit, so it gets you excited. It hit all the check marks. There's action in it. There's some banter in between. It sets up. You get new characters, and boom, you get a after end credit scene. Sets up more shit. MCU movie.
Even this, that could have been a darker story, and they chose to go Spy Kids instead. It makes me worried about the shows and things that have darker characters. Like
Moon Knight.
This made me more worried for Moon Knight because he's literally was it schizophrenic, where you have like personality? I think he murders people.
Isn't that
literally murders them?
But
Oscar Isaac I think is playing Moon Knight. So
yeah. I don't doubt his performance. Him being this after they announced him, like, I'm okay with this completely. But
who's playing him? Sorry,
Oscar Isaac. But from Star Wars.
Jon Snow from Game of Thrones.
No,
I'm thinking of somebody else. Oscar Isaac is Poe Dameron from
Star Wars, and he was also an Ex Machina.
Somebody posted because you have Ryan Reynolds, who's just perfect for Deadpool. Somebody posted the person that they really wanted to play Moon Knight because he has a very similar personality to Deadpool, with the just the kind of insane antics and funny antics and everything. And I can't think of who it was.
Oh, well, when you get it, let me know. I guess to wrap up Black Widow here, we'll just keep it moving. If you've seen it, if you haven't seen it, it's a decent summer blockbuster. I can't say block correctly. Film. It's got some action. There's some funny parts in it, huh?
Because you don't block.
I don't. I gotta be honest with you. If I have to, I block. But if I can hit a button faster than you, I'm gonna hit that button. Tell him, Randall. No. Okay.
This is no mind.
Okay. I mean, you can say it. I can take it.
It's nothing to say.
Okay. Anywho.
He said you're not even noteworthy.
Shit, that's messed up. Jeez. Alrighty then. Kelsey.
What's up?
I know you're probably looking up the actor, but I need you to talk about Solo Leveling. You caught up with the manga, or is it finished?
I caught up with the English version. They only have 100 I think there's 270-ish chapters, and there's only 157 out currently for English.
Got it.
Yeah, and you can read them all for free on levelingsolo.com. It's fantastic. A buddy of mine recommended it a long time ago, and then my old neighbor's daughter was like, "This is my absolute favorite series," and she had a book. The first 3 books, which covered maybe 50 chapters or so.
Okay.
And so I was like, can I just borrow the first book? Because I didn't want to. I didn't know how it was going to be, and I didn't know that I could read it for free until afterwards. But was reading it, and it was it's just fantastic. Everything about it is amazing. So the whole world revolves around these energy gates that suddenly start spawning, and with that, certain people started becoming what they call hunters, and you get a hunter rank. They found this artifact that would allow them to gauge your hunter rank, and E being the lowest, and then D, C, B, A, and then S, and then and then they don't really have a way to currently gauge anything above an S, they don't even really have a way to gauge S ranked people. They just, from what I've read or what I've seen in there, is that if you're an S rank, the artifact can't really, tell. It just gives you an error. They're just like, I don't know, and so they're like, you're clearly an S. But then they have no way to like gauge the S rank people, and then they have some people that are called nation rank or nation level S ranks, and those are people that like basically have the power of an entire nation. Okay, like they could literally just decimate a nation and not even
bat an eye.
Yeah, like that's it. And most of them get that rank by completing an S ranked dungeon, which an S ranked dungeon is extremely difficult. Even if like a lot of the S rank people get together, there's no guarantee that they're going to actually be able to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that they tell you right up front is about the S rank dungeon that opened up on Jeju, I forget how it's pronounced, island.
Jujitsu.
Where Jujitsu Island, where a bunch of ants like overtook everything, and they had like 3 or 4 raids against it, and lost like one or two of the S rank people, and they even like teamed up with other nations and just couldn't do anything about it.
Before you continue, I have questions already.
Okay.
This is in real life, or is it the character playing a game, or is the life a game? Like what is this leveling, or what is this rank stuff? Like this is real people?
These are real people. So it would be like if we were just it's based in like our world, and then all of a sudden these gates just started appearing, and people started getting basically magical powers or strengths and that kind of stuff, and you get rated on your abilities, right? And so you touch this device, and it gauges your strength and gives you a rank, or they rank you. And so, but the thing is that once you're assigned a rank, that's it. That is where you stay. You cannot. You can't
get stronger. You can't.
No, it doesn't matter what you do. That's just where it is. Like you can, you might be able to develop like new techniques, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to move up in ranks. Like you may develop like being able to light your sword on fire and use that instead of being a mage that just fires, fireballs or whatever.
But you can still technically get stronger. You just won't get rated higher.
No, I don't think you can really get stronger either. They haven't really.
Fuck this game.
So reading the thing, it doesn't sound like that anybody gets any stronger. It's just you're assigned the rank, and that's it. You have that is if you are a rank E, you are a rank E forever. And the main character is a rank E, and he's considered the weakest hero of all time. Okay.
Oh my god.
So like, and they mentioned like a little bit about power levels, like gauging them. So the average rank E has like a power level of 70. His is 10. Okay.
Oh my god.
He goes into he could get into a fight with a slug and take damage. Okay. Like that's how weak this kid is.
So these battles only happen inside the gates, or even in your day-to-day life?
Only inside the gates, but you have to clear the gate within a certain time. Otherwise, I forget what the phenomenon is, but basically, after like a week, I believe it is, the gate opens up and allows the monsters inside to start coming out.
I see. Okay, that's pretty cool.
And that's what happened with the Jeju Island.
Jujitsu Island.
The
right?
Jujitsu Island.
I'm just kidding. Go ahead. I'm just kidding.
So on Jeju Island, that's what happened. They went into the gate, they couldn't finish it, they retreated. It broke and opened up, and then all the ants. Luckily, they were ants, and so they couldn't like get anywhere. So but they were just on the island for several years, but they couldn't finish the gate, and so they took over the island and basically wiped everything else out on it.
Jeez.
So in the very beginning, the main character goes into he's trying to support because his dad has vanished. His dad's vanished or isn't around, and he's trying to support his sister going to school, and his mother has fallen into a deep coma called like the never-ending sleep, because certain people, when around people that have the hunter's magic, if they can't withstand it, they start going into a coma, and they just never wake up. Okay. And so so he's like trying to pay for his mom's medical bills by just tagging along to whatever low rank dungeons he can get into, and helping out in whatever way he can, but he usually ends up getting very, very badly hurt, in all of them because he literally is known as the weakest hero of all time. And so the first dungeon that you get into, because it's like right up front, I think it's okay that I like explain kind of how this whole thing goes about.
That's fine. There's 100 and something you just said, so it's fine. Like there's a lot of chapters, so go ahead.
So because so the very first part of it, they're like first like 13 chapters kind of covers all of this, talks about the family and that kind of and what he's doing and why he's doing this. So they go into he joins up with this crew, going into like an E rank dungeon or a low D rank dungeon. Okay. And the guy that's leading it is like a B rank mage, okay? Which means that he should be able to just basically solo this and not have any problems.
Right.
And so they go through, and there's a B rank healer who spends her entire time basically trying to keep him from just like having his organs fly out of him, because he's so worthless that he just like, he can't fight anything without getting hurt. He can't like this. I'm trying to think of like what the equivalent would be, but he like walks forward and just injures himself type thing. Like he trips over a rock and just there he smashed his skull open and they're having to heal him.
Oh my
type
god.
Thing, okay.
So anyone that's not Saitama on One Punch.
Yeah.
So he's basically Glass from Unbreakable. Mr.
Yes.
Glass.
Yes. So they finish the dungeon, and once you kill the dungeon boss, you have an hour to leave before the dungeon closes forever. Okay. So
are you trapped?
You're just trapped in there. Yeah. Oh, and the thing is like I don't know if it ever reappears or if like there's a way out. I doubt it. But you have
to get out. Basically.
So you have an hour to like collect as many materials and things as you have. Some of the upper rank dungeons they have guilds and things, and you can be recruited into a guild, and then you can raid as a guild, and so the stronger guilds will take like A rank dungeons and B rank dungeons, and they'll kill everything except for the final boss, and then they'll have mining teams that'll go in and mine all these mana crystals and things, and then they'll have a recovery team go in and capture monster corpses, because you can, like a normal RPG, you can use the carcasses and things to like create weapons or sell for useful parts or anything like that. You also find stuff on the corpse. So it's like any standard RPG. You kill something, you loot the body, you get crystals that you can use to like pay people and that kind of stuff.
Okay.
And they do all that before they kill the final boss, and then they loot the final boss and leave. And dungeons can be like any size. I mean, it could even take weeks to actually like work your way through all of it. But as long as you keep killing things, it doesn't necessarily mean they're going to escape. So they go into this first dungeon, and they kill the final boss, and they notice a door. And then they were like, oh shit, it's a double dungeon. It actually exists. All right.
What the hell?
And so they're like, we're gonna vote on this. We can try and do the double dungeon because this is such a low rank dungeon that this shouldn't be very difficult at all. Okay.
Okay.
So they vote, and it comes down to him, and he's like, I need the extra money. Let's fucking do this. So they go in through the door. There's all these massive statues that are like 10 feet tall, and then there's this huge statue in the very middle, and then there's like a little plaque off to the side that has like some laws or rules or something. And the first one's like, you will worship God. The second one is you will like pray to God, and then the third one is you will be like devout to him, or you will show your allegiance to him, basically.
Right.
And they're like, that's fucking weird. That's creepy. So they get in there, and I'm trying to remember the first thing that happens, but they get in there, and the giant statue, his eyes start glowing, and then just wipe out like half the raid. Like 6 people out of 18 go away. Okay. And they're like, what the fuck? And then the kid's like, he's like looking around, people are trying to run, and he's on the ground. And then he realizes that praying to God, you have to stay below a certain level. So he's like, everybody get down, and then somebody's like, fuck this, I'm out. And they try and run. And then one of the statues just slashes the dude in half. Okay.
Oof.
If they die in the dungeons, they're gone for real. For real.
Yeah, they're dead. That's it.
Okay.
You know,
Oh shit!
like,
Okay, so this is
heal-
not like we'll try again next week.
no, this is life or death situation.
Okay.
Healers, depending on their proficiency, can actually bring people back that are super close to death.
But
You
if
know,
you're dead,
and then
you're dead.
yeah, if you're dead,
Okay.
that's it. You know,
There's no revive. Okay.
no, not that they haven't shown a revive yet,
Okay.
but who knows? It may be in later stuff.
Right.
You can even like regrow limbs, all sorts of stuff, depending on the healer. Like you
Oh
can,
shit.
because there's a chapter where some dude like just gets sliced here, and then the healer's like, ah, and then his arm's back, but he doesn't have his armor or anything.
Okay. I want the
and,
healers to do that.
So then they're like, he's like, oh shit, you know, what are we supposed to do? And so they stay to the ground. Well, then everybody's down on the ground, and then he's like, now we have to like, I forget what the second one is now, but they're like trying to figure out what the fuck to do. Some dude was a preacher, and he starts like preaching or singing to the god, and the god just steps on him, or the statue steps on him, and that's it. And then he realizes that some of the statues have instruments, and so everybody has to get in front of an instrument statue. So they do, and then then once that's done, there's this altar in the very center that rises up, and it looks like they're demanding a sacrifice. And so they like one person steps in and a flame appears, and then when everybody steps in, a whole bunch of flames appear that count the same number as the people.
Okay.
And they're like trying to figure out what's going on. Then a set of blue flames appear, and all the statues start moving towards the center. But if you look at them, they don't move. It's kind of like the Boo thing with Mario.
Uh-huh.
But at this point, the door has opened, and several people are like, fuck this shit, I'm out.
Oh my
and they
God.
book it out. And then by the way, the kid, when he was running, because he had like run to a statue with another person, and it wasn't accepting him because you can only have one person in front of each of the statues that have an instrument. So he like runs and ends up losing his foot to a statue with a shield. So it's, he has no way to like escape this.
Gotcha.
So, he's in the center, and people are leaving, and he's like, no, you need to stay here. It's a timer. Everybody has to just stay here, and then we'll get through this. Like once the timer goes out, we should be fine. Well, they have no way to prove this, and now there's only 3 people left, and they can't look at everything and keep them from moving in and killing everybody. So he tells the leader to take the healer and just leave, because there's no way that he's going to be able to get out, because somebody has to stay in the center, because every time somebody leaves, the door closes a little more. Well, then like the statues come up on him, and then they like stab him, throw him onto the altar, and this message pops up. And he's like, what the fuck? And it reads something like, your heart will stop in 0.02 seconds unless you become a player. Do you want to become a player? And you accept or decline. And he's like, accept? Like, what the fuck else am I supposed to do? I don't want to die here,
Uh-huh.
And then he wakes up like 3 days later in the hospital. His legs fully healed, he doesn't really know what's going on, but there's this message that keeps popping up that nobody else can see. And it's his daily quest. And it's like 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats, and a 10-kilometer run. And it says at the bottom, failure to complete the daily quest will result in a penalty. You'll be sent to the penalty zone. And he's like, whatever. I don't know what this is. I'm going to sleep. And you have 24 hours to complete it.
Oh my God.
And then he wakes up. He wakes up, and he's in some like sand zone, like nowhere where he's supposed to be. And there's this giant fucking worm thing. Like have you ever seen Tremors?
Yeah.
So like Tremors, he's in just an open sand zone with the Tremors fucking worm thing starting to attack him. And he's running, and he doesn't know what the fuck's going on, and he's got to last for 4 hours. Okay. So
That's the penalty?
Yes. So he manages to survive for 4 hours, and he like he's like gets back to the hospital. It like teleports him back. There's a whole bunch of sand and stuff around him. And like he comes in, and then the nurse is like, "Oh shit, what just happened?" And like gets in bed, whatever. So then he like starts looking at everything. He's got like an inventory. He's got stats. Like he's like strength, agility, senses, intelligence, and strength, agility, senses. I don't remember the last one.
Wisdom or something.
That would be intelligence, Brian.
Luck.
Maybe luck. Yeah.
I honestly don't remember.
That's fine.
But he's like, okay, and they all start out like level 10, okay, and his level is level 1, and he's like, I don't know what the fuck this is, but I guess I'll start doing this. So he starts doing the daily quest, and then he finishes the daily quest, and he gets a
XP.
he gets some experience, and he also gets a daily reward, and he's like, what is this? Because like he keeps being referred to as the player, but he has no clue as to what the hell's going on,
Okay.
And so he just kind of keeps doing stuff.
He doesn't remember agreeing to be a player.
I mean, he does, but he doesn't understand what a player is. Like he's an E rank hunter, and all of a sudden he just has this thing that nobody else has ever seen, a hunter that can actually grow and level, And so he starts like doing the dailies and getting the rewards and doing all this other stuff, and you can like physically see him start to change from what he was originally. He starts getting more muscular, he gets taller, he
does.
He starts making better decisions with what he's doing because his intelligence stats go up. It's just awesome. Like the everything about it is just amazing. It's very well written.
This is a TV
What's up?
show?
No, this is
it's a manga.
Oh, okay.
If they would make this into an anime, that would be excellent. Like this is an incredible book or series. And then eventually he gets to the point where he gets a job change, and it is nothing that you would ever expect.
Okay.
And then they keep using that, and it's not even like like he eventually becomes very, very overpowered in a lot of situations, and then
that's gonna be one of my questions. I have a few questions after you're done here.
Go ahead and ask. I want to.
So first, does it become the Goku story, or like does it become a shonen where it's like, oh, I'm gonna die, but new superpower saves the day, we move on to the next bad guy, or is it just like he actually goes through and learns something before a battle, and like A Quiet Place problem, and then it like foreshadows him using stuff, or is it like a spur of the moment, I have a new ability, and he just uses it, and then it saves his ass?
So in the very beginning, I feel like it's more of because it's all part of the learning thing. He like does stuff, levels up, gets a new ability, starts using the ability, right?
Yeah.
And that makes it easier, and depending on his situation.
Correct.
It eventually gets into he just is super intelligent now, and especially after the job change, he becomes kind of overpowered.
Okay.
But he does like work his way from being an E rank to an S rank.
Okay.
And then he kind of becomes Goku, where he's like the most powerful thing on the planet, but not actually the most powerful thing on the planet. And so he actually has to use his intelligence to win certain situations.
As long as he does not like stumbling his way into excellence, because that's like, okay, well.
No, like he works for it, and it shows him like working for it.
Okay.
So it's not like, oh, haha, I tripped and stabbed the guy in the eye and I gained 45 levels and now I'm just better than everybody else. No, he like struggles and has to think about what he's doing, and and it obviously gets easier the more his intelligence stat goes up.
Okay. I mean, it's sounding great so far, and especially since it's free, might as well read it, So I might have to check this out. I might have to add it.
I mean, so I'm trying to think. The job change at first was like a little skeptical. It was a little sus, But then, like as they started using it, it's just fantastic. Okay. Like it just every chapter gets better and better. That's it.
And then my other question was like the gates and stuff. Do they start going to how that became a thing, or is it just this happened and we just have to run with it?
I think they're getting to that.
Okay.
Because they're like, they don't really fully understand You know why the gates appeared. There's a guy that's been like, apparently there's been a scientist that has been like studying the gates, but doesn't really have a lot of information. You know, and then they have like there's abnormalities where there's like it's called a red gate, where a gate masks itself as like a D rank, and then all of a sudden it's more of like a B rank, which is a huge jump.
Okay.
They also have their hunters have the ability to reawaken. So if you were an E rank, you could possibly go up to like a C rank after you reawaken. Most of the reawakens happen with like higher ranks that are like B that go up to an S or a B to an A, that kind of thing. At least the way at least that's what I think they were talking about.
Okay.
And you know, each person has their like own unique ability. For the most part, they really focus a lot on the S ranks because they're the best of the best, you know, and a lot of them are very unique and their skill sets are very unique.
That leads into my last question. I guess it's basically the supporting characters. Is there like a lot like, oh, that's my main? Is there like, you know how Jujutsu Kaisen has a bunch of side characters? They like, oh, I like him, I like him, I like that. Do they have that, or is it just focused on the main dude most of the time?
I mean, most of the time it's focused on the main guy, but he interacts a lot with the other like S ranks at a certain point and a lot of other characters. And it's not like they're just side characters. It's not just, oh, you know, oh, that's Bill. He's strong, you know?
Yeah.
Like it's
no, that backstory and like, okay.
Yeah, that guy, that's you know, that's Bob. He can turn into an animal. I'm sorry, what? You know, like that's not what do you mean he can turn into an animal? Yeah, that's his power. That's why he's an S rank, is because he literally takes the form of a lion. Okay?
Okay, that's cool.
Are these side people recurring, or is it kind of like a one and done?
No, it's they're there a lot.
Okay, that's cool.
Because they're like they're leaders of major guilds, you know, and so like they talk about them. You know, the military can't do shit against the S rank people like that. They are just there's like yeah, you know, like even some A ranks could probably take on cities, you know,
right?
And then you have the nation level hunters that are just like there's a guy that he reminds me a lot of Zangief with just a lot of hair, and he just like walks around in a Hawaiian t-shirt and it's like, I could fuck you up at any point in time, you know? And he knows that he could because he's like the strongest person in the world, you know? And he prides himself on that, and he's kind of an asshole about it.
I think he's my main. I don't know, but I mean, it sounds like he's my main.
But yeah, I mean, you get a lot of, not like backstory, but you get a lot of character development with all of the side characters, you know, with the main character, and they throw a lot of twists and turns and curveballs at you as you go. And there's just a ton of shit going on now. There's clearly some bigger plan that's going on that you're like trying to figure out what's happening and why it's happening, and you know why Earth was chosen. So definitely give it a read. After reading it, I definitely see why it is people love this series. Like, this is an incredible series.
What is the
Yes.
Okay. How often do they release the new chapters? Because the translations, I'm assuming, are happening fan made, or is it actually like by a translation house or something?
I think the translations are not being done by like an actual translation company. I think that Leveling Solo, like, you might be able to find more chapters out somewhere else, but LevelingSolo.com seems to be the place to get it right now. They they supposedly release it once a week, but 158 was supposed to come out last week and it still isn't up. So
I'm sure they're still working on it. Okay, so it's just people working on it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. All right, we'll give that a shot. I mean, I'm intrigued, so it's definitely gonna be in my backlog. I gotta get to that.
I binged the whole thing over like 3 or 4 days. It was totally worth
just
it.
Reading.
Well, it's totally worth it to the extent that I'm like super excited about it, but I'm pissed that there isn't more because I want to know what the hell's going on.
Yeah, that's happened to me with some animes where I'm like, I think I should just start reading the manga to keep going because I just want to keep going. Vinland Saga.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing with One Punch Man now. I found there's a similar site that does the One Punch Man manga, and so I'm
just reading ahead.
Yeah, I'm starting over from the beginning just to see if there's like how closely related it is, and then seeing if there's anything extra. I've already found like one or two extra bits where they give like some more backstory on certain characters and how things came to be. So, yeah.
Speaking of manga, Anthony, my friend who's big on Ippo, when the show ends, the anime didn't end. I mean, when the show ends, the manga didn't end. It's still ongoing.
Oh, okay.
So if you're like, yo, I need this in my life every day.
I don't. It's basically like I eat it for, like it's enough to be like, okay, I'm eating and watching it and it's entertaining. It's like 90s nostalgia for the most part. Like, oh, I'm just watching my anime. Like if I was watching Toonami back in the day, where like it's on. I like the characters. You know, it keeps it moving. I don't like it like that. Where I'm gonna read the manga. You know, but if it ends, it ends. All right. Well, I mean that's a high recommendation. So I'll see when I read through it, and I'll give my review on here. Excellent, Brian. It's your turn, buddy. You finally listened to some new music here that I can say that I have not listened to as well. I'm just kidding. Vince Staples dropped a new album, new project, 10 tracks, I think.
I'm looking it up now because I forgot to have it up.
Okay.
Yeah, 10 songs. It's less than half an hour.
Oh, wow.
Out of the 10 songs, I think 2 of them are skits. Not skits, but like just
interludes or whatever the case.
Yeah. Out of the 10, 1, 2, 3, 5 of them I liked. I hearted. The ones that I didn't, chorus.
Oh, I hate when that happens. You're like, this is gonna knock. Chorus hits. You're like, why?
Even though the last song, the chorus, whatever, but it's funny to me.
Okay. And is it because it's like, bless you, man? Is it because it's like a repeating chorus thing, or is it just like not a catchy chorus? Ooh, loading.
I don't remember. I think it's either or.
Gotcha. Okay.
I listened to this.
Is the chorus as bad as
never
the Shakira Black Eyed Peas thing, or is this like Cardi B when it's up, then it's stuck?
I didn't skip any songs, so I guess that gives you an answer.
That's true. So I guess it's not as bad as those. I guess my next question would be like, what is the instrumentals like? Like, is it the game hard hitting bass with like murderous intent, or is it like fun? Because like his last album has some funky instrumentals with it.
I don't really know how to explain it, to be honest.
What the hell?
It's not game, and it's not really like funky. But it's like, I don't know. It's like alternative rap, I guess.
Alternative rap.
I don't know how to explain it.
Is it live? Is it acoustic stuff? Like, is it you hear like drums and stuff, or
No, but it's like it's different. I don't know how to explain it. Really, I don't know who to compare it to.
What type of samples does it use? Like, I don't know.
Let me see. The first song I think was my favorite, if I can remember. That it starts with "Are you okay with? Are you with that?"
Mm-hmm.
And it's like rap R&B, new trappy kind of sound altogether. It's I don't know how to explain it, but it's a different sound.
It's a new wave.
Yeah, that new wave. Like everybody's gonna be doing this, but let me see.
So, do you think it's like a new sound? Like this is instrumentals you haven't heard type of before, like mixes, or what? That I
can remember. I don't remember people using this kind of instrumentals, but I liked it. A lot of even the songs that I'm like I didn't heart. From what I can remember, I liked the instrumental.
Oh, okay. Is there any features in this?
Yeah, only in the skit though.
Ah, okay. Well then,
Game of the Year.
It is. So not Game of the Year, but it's definitely solid. Like it sounds like I only like half of it, but overall, there was nothing that was like this needs to stop. This needs to stop.
Gotcha.
What was the one last week that actually you had like what is it?
Oh,
I think it was
crumb.
Cruel. Oh, Crumb, not Cruel. I'm sorry.
Ice melt.
Okay.
I think that's better, but this is still enjoyable. This is still I recommend. If you like Vince Staples, you'll probably like this, but it's not
Okay.
like it's not North. It's not music like that.
Okay. I mean, I like my Vince Staples.
I guess
So
that's the best way to explain it. Just imagine catching a vibe with Vince Staples.
okay. So it's more like his FM album then.
Well, that had stuff on it that was aggressive as fuck.
Some of it, but some of them wasn't.
So lyric wise, he's still saying like real
Bullshit.
shit, but the tone and the instrumental on it's like it's kind of like instead of him yelling "Yo, stay woke," imagine him like people die like that. That's how it feels.
Okay. Yeah, so it's like you just smoking a blunt with him, hanging out, and he just spit on something that came up while his producer was making something.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
I enjoy it. I enjoy Vince Staples both for his personality and his music.
Yeah, his
And
interviews are fantastic.
yeah, so I really enjoy this. Even one of the interludes. It's not the Facebook story quality of funny, but one of the stories like it's entertaining at least. I think it was.
Okay.
It was not not the first one. The I
Facebook?
think Lakewood Mall, I guess, is the name of that one.
All right.
Yeah, no,
God,
I enjoyed this.
My music
I'm sorry, I
backlog is
lied.
getting
The features on one of the songs is an interlude. It's a lady singing
Okay. On the chorus, I'm assuming.
for the chorus. Yeah.
Okay, I'll have to check it out. My freaking music backlog is getting longer than I wanted to.
So if you already know you like Vince Staples,
Yep,
listen
check.
to it. If
Okay.
you not I don't know if easy listening, but more down tempo-y rap where someone's just saying real things to you,
Mm-hmm.
you probably like it.
Okay, I'm sort of there too. That's 2.
If you're a fan of short albums, it's less than half an hour.
That's 3. I'm
Uh,
all in, Randall.
yeah, I don't know. Everything I don't remember hearing anything mix wise. I was like, question
weird.
mark. Yeah. Overall, it's solid. I think it's a W for him.
Cool. That's good to hear. I mean, we haven't heard him in like what 2-3 years, right? Or am I a liar?
I feel like it's been sooner than that, but I don't know.
Oh,
Let me
then
see.
I'm a liar. It's fine. You can just say I'm a liar.
FM was 2018.
So 3 years. Yeah.
So
2.
yeah, I guess.
Oof. All right. Well, sounds like it's a recommend. Let me move on real quick to 4 Good Days. This is a movie with I forgot the woman's name, but also Mila Kunis is in it. It's a renowned actress too. I forgot her name. I should go look it up out of respect here.
Glenn Close.
Glenn Close, you said?
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's
Anyway.
the guy from Office Space, Miss Stapler.
Yeah, he plays the stepdad. Anywho, premise of this movie is the daughter of Glenn Close, which is Mila Kunis, comes knocking on her door asking to stay at her place because she wants to sober up. Sober up? What do you mean, Anthony? Well, she's a drug addict. A heavy drug addict where like teeth are missing. It's bad. Like me, I never seen Mila Kunis like this before in my life. I'm like, whoa, she. They look like she is a drug addict in this. So whoever did the makeup and whatever, spot on. Second, the mother's hesitant to help her because apparently it wasn't the first time she's tried to get clean and it was a lie. You'll find out later in the movie how many times she attempted to do this. Astronomically crazy number for me, but that's
Was it 117?
I would have stopped the movie and called all of you and be like, I think I'm a drug addict. I'm kidding. Anyway, it's that, and that is basically the premise. It's her going through the days for like sobering up, relapse, and you start learning about the relationship between her and her mom, why her mom's like not with the dad anymore. You meet the dad, the stepdad of what he's kind of like the stapler guy. He's pretty neutral. He doesn't have like a huge part in it, but it's like a mother and daughter type of movie. You know, it's a pretty that's most of it without spoiling how the journey that she goes through, because she also has kids. She had a kid, and I think she was married or something like that, and she threw that away because obviously drugs. And then yeah, all of that, and it's her trying to. That the movie is basically her trying to get clean, while throughout the entire time they build it up so you yourself as a viewer can't trust her because of the things that are coming up from like in dialogue between her and her mother. You're like, oh, she did that last time. She did that. Oh, she did that. You yourself can't trust her because she's already done outlandish shit when she said she was gonna get clean. So they do a good job of going like you not trusting her to get clean. So you're kind of siding with the mom, like, okay, yeah, you're gonna try to do something smart, and so she's like hounding her like a hawk the entire movie, trying to make sure she doesn't fuck it up until the ending of the movie happens, on whether or not she actually does fuck it up, and that's for you guys to find out. The performances were well worth watching, so I definitely recommend watching it because both convincing performances. Dialogue was pretty good. Music, I don't remember the music that well. There are some very like heavy scenes that have some like soundtracks in the background, but I don't remember if they hit like hard because the performances themselves were hitting hard. So, and that's about it. I mean, I'd give it a recommendation.
How long is the movie?
Shit. Let me click on it.
An hour and 40.
All right.
Name of the year?
No, I wouldn't. No, I don't know. I don't. I have to go look at what I've watched this year, but I don't think it's game of the year. But it's a very solid film. Like it's nothing. I'm gonna give a Brian review. It's not like a holy shit, you know. But the performances were good enough where if I saw it as like these guys nominated for something on an Oscar, I'm like, okay, I get it. Like, they did well. Is all.
What was the thing I said? Doesn't slap, but it's better than a golf clap.
Yeah, something like that. You give it. It doesn't slap, but it's like a drum. The snapping thing. I think what was it? I forgot. Someone go check the tapes. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
I don't
Definitely
think
give
my
that a
movie
recommendation.
game of the year for this year is changing at all.
What's your game of the year?
I'm not telling you until December.
Oof. Brian's like, oh, I'm gonna keep that as a Patreon.
But what if you forget?
No,
I have it
that's
written
true.
down.
What if you forget how to get to that file?
Then if it's really number one, I'll remember it.
Those are facts. Anyway. All right, Kelsey. You have listened to Folklore and have finally watched Demon Slayer. Tell
Yes.
me, how, you know?
So I really like the anime and the movie. I don't like how everything is based around this breathing bullshit.
Oh, okay.
It's just annoying because he like especially in the anime, he spends like 2 years working for this,
Mhm.
but then every episode he forgets that he has to do this stuff. You know, he's
I
like,
gotta control my breathing. I have to control my breathing.
Yeah, like at that point, it should be fucking ingrained in your head.
Right.
2 years of just doing this, like, and then eventually gets to the like whatever the total concentration breathing is, and he starts
Yeah.
using that. But it's like, I don't know. The
Took too
moves
long.
are cool, huh?
It took too long for him to master it.
Not even that. I just think that I don't like how the whole thing is just revolving around breathing. Like that gives them some sort of power, you know?
Okay.
Like I would rather to just see them have like he like masters a move or he remembers like a stance or something like that. Like not,
Okay.
you know, and then the fucking air comes out and then
Hell
you know
yeah.
everything gets like dark and he
Come on.
So yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. The anime itself is pretty decent. The
Uh-huh.
movie was pretty decent. I don't care for the breathing thing. I like the way that they animate the attacks, like you know, with the water coming out, whatever. Even though I don't think there's anything actually, it doesn't actually have any effect, like the fire and that kind of stuff doesn't
Yeah.
actually have any effect. It's just there as kind of a representation of what's going to happen.
Right.
Which
so who is your favorite swordsman and why is it Senetsu?
Senetsu.
He's the lightning breather that knows one move.
No, I hate that guy.
What the fuck did you just say?
It's annoying as fuck.
Who do you like the most?
the butterfly chick.
Ah, that's true. She's actually pretty strong.
But after the movie, the fire dude is pretty fucking awesome.
That was gonna be my next question: is how did you like the movie, and how long did you cry for?
I really enjoyed the movie. It's kind of interesting to know that it's literally 2 hours on a train.
Yep.
And the ending was. I'm more pissed than anything.
That's your emotions bottling up that you haven't cried yet. That's what you're telling me. You just kept that anger. You didn't cry. I get it.
There wasn't anything to cry about. I'm just angry.
What the fuck did you just say to me?
There was nothing
Yo.
sad that happened. There's just angry things that happen.
Bro, we gotta fight. But go ahead. Sorry.
So, like, I kind of saw that coming as soon as, like, you know, the after the train, and then the dude shows up, and you're like, clearly something's about to happen. Like, they really foreshadow this. I was really kind of hoping that they'd not do what they did, but it is what it is.
For me, it hit. It didn't hit until what's his name was screaming into the woods. Like his speech, that's when I'm like, you fucker.
Like I was hoping there would be some sort of redemption.
Yeah.
But then there wasn't, and I was really kind of upset with that. But like the thought of them like finding their mentor, was really awesome.
You're working your way up to it. Just let it all out. I know. Just
his eye.
Yeah. Just let it out. Just let it the fuck out. I had to be in the shower for like 20 minutes. I'm like, what are you doing in there? I'm just showering. God.
Right? I'm not crying. You're crying.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I'm really interested to seeing what they do with like the other characters. Because fuck the guy with scars. The snake guy he looks cool, but he also seems like he's an asshole.
Yeah.
The love lady looks like she's gonna just be kind of a funny character. The guy who I'm waiting for the guy that's forgetful.
Ryan's doing one of his.
I know what he's doing. I know what he's doing. I'm waiting for the guy that's like super forgetful just to be like insanely strong.
Yeah.
Just like he's just like standing there, just like staring at the sky, like, what was I supposed to do today?
And then
just slices through, everything. The guy with the dual blades looks interesting, and then the guy that prays looks like he's a funny character. Like him just crying all the time over everything. Yeah. He just is very like this is the way we're going, and that's it. Like that's his mindset.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so sad that he's a demon. It's such a shame that we have to kill him. And then starts crying and praying and whatever. And then they showed the kid that they graduated with, the one with the scar and half his head shaved, with him. So I'm excited to see how that turns out.
Yeah, correct.
I watched the season in English and then the movie in Japanese. They actually did an amazing job with the voice cast for English. Like they have a lot of the well-knowns, like Ichigo.
Mm-hmm.
Shit, I looked all this stuff up and now I can't remember any of them because other than Ichigo. But like Ichigo's in it, and then there's like a bunch of some of the cast from like Rurouni Kenshin, and other like really big animes that you just like they really hit home with the voice cast.
Uh-huh.
And so that was really good, and it matched very well with the voices that they actually used in Japanese. So
yeah,
definitely.
I'm gonna rewatch the movie when the dub comes out because I want to see said scenes in English to see if those actors hit the same way the Japanese one did.
Question for you.
For who?
For Kelsey. Whose dream sequence did you enjoy more?
Oh, that's a good question. In the movie.
And did certain characters' dream sequence make you like that person a little more, or was it still fuck off?
I mean the what's the lightning dude's name?
Zenitsu.
His was funny because he's like, why
enamored.
The fuck are you here? Who is this person? That one was funny. he definitely gets less annoying like as stuff goes on.
Yeah.
I don't really care for the whole he has to be asleep to be effective type thing, but it is a funny like turn on it. I don't like him because they overplay him. It's kind of like Boyle, like it's too much. Him just whining and screaming and crying constantly, and instead of him like being this shy scaredy cat that just sits in the back, behind them, and then when stuff happens he might scream and then pass out, and then he starts doing his shit. Like that would be fine, but it's not what he does. He sits there and literally takes up airtime doing nothing but pissing and moaning about how he's almost worse than Hope, okay?
Almost.
The boar hat guy, Inosuke, he's funny. I like him. I like that he's very, I can't think of the word, but just like he has to be stronger and better than everybody, and that's really what drives him.
Mm-hmm.
And I loved when he got face smashed by Tanjiro, and you just see him like running into trees and everything else because he's like, I'm not gonna let him do this to me again. Yeah, I mean,
who else?
Nezuko.
And then
Nezuko's
awesome.
She's really cool. I'm really hoping that they start using her more because there's like literally episodes where she just doesn't even appear.
Yeah.
I kind of figured that she was going to help out on the train because with like the whole sequence. But I feel like there's been a lot of places. Obviously, they can only do that at night, but I feel like there's a lot of places that she could have been more helpful. And it may just be because they play it off as, she has to sleep to regain her strength type thing, and that's why she just doesn't come out. Yeah. But I like that and hate it all at the same time because it's like it's a great way to explain off why she's not thirsty all the time, but it's a pain in the ass that she's just always asleep and this major character is just not there to do anything.
Yeah. Did you like any of the villains in this anime series, like the Dodgeball Girl or
the Dodgeball Girl was probably my favorite. Like she the 6 arms and like
chucking
throwing the balls, like that was just awesome.
Yeah. What do you think of Michael Jackson?
Michael Jackson.
Yeah, you meet him in the crowd.
You're talking about the head guy, the head demon.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not really sure what to think of him because like I kind of agree with what's her name, the doctor person. That he's just a coward. That he uses these things. He can't he could obviously do stuff, but I don't think he's as strong as like what people fear him for. Say. Yeah. Because I think he's only strong over demons, not necessarily humans. And I think if the Hashira actually got near him, they would just dice him up almost instantly. But I'm excited to see what they do with him.
I hope he shows off some like crazy shit so we can be like, okay, that's why we fear him. Yeah.
He's obviously scary because of what he does to the other demons, but that may just be because they may be weaker than him at the time, and then maybe some of the upper 5 are actually stronger, but because of the curse, they fear him.
Yeah.
So I'm also hoping we get to see more demons that like aren't demons. Like the doctor lady and the
right.
And whatever the hell that lustful kid's name is.
I don't remember his name either.
Yeah.
Got fucking head exploded by the dodgeball.
Yes, that was fucking hilarious.
What was his name?
I don't know.
I don't know. It doesn't matter.
The name of the characters I like besides Nezuko.
Right.
Like I don't remember the butterfly lady's name.
I don't either. But I'm hoping that we get to like see more of them, and I also want to know what the story behind the leader is.
Same
the
old
blindness and whatever.
He's a smooth criminal. Oh, you mean on their side?
Yeah, Brian, the good guy side. Not. This is another one of those animes where I'm like, should I read ahead or just wait patiently?
Yeah, because I don't think they have any plans. I mean, I think there are plans for season 2, but I don't think they have
like they haven't announced it yet.
Yeah.
Because after the first season, they were like, we're going to do the Mugen thing in a movie. And then I don't know if they've came out and said what the next arc's going to be on. if it's gonna be a movie or a series.
Didn't I put something?
So
in
apparently, season
Yes, you
2.
did. You did. I'm sorry. Brian did put something in the YouTube in my Discord. There's a trailer for the next season. It's a TV series for the next season.
Yeah, so I'm looking up the episodes. Apparently, they're going to air this year. Or it's going to start airing this year.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'm assuming that it's going to follow after the events of. I'm going to be really pissed if they just release, season 2 as the movie.
No, I think it takes place after Mugen Train.
So
I would riot. Hey, let's just do the
trailer.
I doubt they're gonna do the train again.
I haven't watched the trailer because it's obvious, but I send it. The issue, or I don't know if it's an issue, but what worries me about this show is there's a good chance the longer it goes on, the less I'm gonna like it, because after all, it is a shonen, and my issue with those is just hidden power. There's always a reason why. Now you can go Ultra Instinct Godzilla mode.
Heck yeah.
Exactly when you need it.
Yeah, I mean,
I hope they know. I don't know how long the manga's going either, but I hope they know when to end things.
Yeah, I do enjoy the fact that like right now there is kind of a limit, and the way that the movie ended made me think that the fire dude was like the strongest of the Hashira.
Mm-hmm.
That may not actually be true, but the way that they were all reacted made it seem like he was the strongest.
Right.
So the other thing that pissed me off with this is that, they talk about how he's like stronger than the average person, with the whole family flashback and whatever. And I'm like, how are you going to do this? Like, how are you going to do this?
You don't got to tell me. It's okay. This is a safe zone, Kelsey. If you need to, I can shut your camera off on here and just let it out, my guy. I know. I felt the pain.
I really like those other two demons. The guy who just rained Knuckles and then
the dream one.
I liked them.
Rain Knuckles.
The guy who fought at the end of the movie.
The monk dude at the very end.
Yeah.
I saw he's gonna get busy with the hands. I'm like, swing, bro.
He clearly wanted to have sex with Rengoku. Okay,
like that's true. I was there for that.
That dude was thirsty for Rengoku.
I mean, who wouldn't be? Anywho, all right. So I guess last but not least here, right? Are we upping it to 3 for 3, or what are we doing
for the Demon Slayer stuff?
Yeah, recommended.
I definitely recommend it. It's a great series. I just really don't like the whole breathing thing, and I'm really kind of hoping that they move away from that. I would rather them just call out the moves like they, like every other anime does, like DBZ and everything else, and then they do stuff rather than having a scene to show them breathing to change whatever stance or whatever move they're getting ready to do, and just do the fucking move. Like at a certain point, they should have mastered this and can do it at will. Like that's it.
Like muscle memory. Like it's not like I got it to do.
Especially if total concentration is supposed to give you the ability to kind of do whatever the fuck you want at all times.
Mm-hmm.
I think they use it the way that when you hear Goku start saying Ka, shit's gonna come out. So once you see Hamun and then that come out, a swing is coming.
Maybe it's not necessarily the breathing. Maybe it's just the character. Because seriously, every episode he's like, "Oh yeah, I gotta do this and I've got to change my breathing, focus on my breathing," and then he's like spends like 5 minutes talking about his fucking breathing so that he can get into a stance to do this other attack, and then it wins. And it's
I think your issue's with Tanjiro, because remember like the first few episodes he fights that super omega water breather, and he doesn't do that shit. He just did his shit and moved on.
Yes, like the boar guy, Inosuke just calls out his shit and does it.
Yeah.
Even whatever the fuck the lightning kid's name is,
Zenitsu.
It's not important.
Hold on. You see how Anthony gets upset? That's how I feel about Kakyo. You remember his fucking
green.
Who?
Venom.
Oh my! I already forgot the funny name.
I remember.
Green Fist Fang Foom. That's a character you meet in JoJo Part 3. Green Fist Fang Foom. You'll know who it is when you see him.
If I ever watch it, yeah.
If you ever watch
that's true. You haven't watched it. My bad.
If you ever watch it, and finish part 3. I don't know if I've already told you this, but there's a pattern, and then I'll let you know on the pattern with JoJo.
I think on the podcast you have said the pattern, but I don't know if.
Yeah, you've said the pattern before. I remember you talking about it.
Okay.
Yeah. So whatever the fucking Lightning Kid's name is, he doesn't do that. Like,
Yeah.
he's annoying because he spends 90% of the time whining. It's airtime that they could be doing literally anything else.
Yeah.
Like it was funny in sort of the beginning. It would have been funny if they like focused on that for like one episode.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, just kind of had him be this scary little cat that you just kind of like, as he's like walking around. Fine, whatever. We get it. He's a little bitch.
Uh-huh.
And then he goes into sleep mode and fucks everything up.
Oh,
Great.
shit.
You
get
know,
to meet the guy in his head, and he doesn't want to fuck around, you know?
I loved that. Especially
You
when I
know-
was like, wait, if he's vicious when he's asleep and they purposely put him to sleep, what the fuck's gonna happen? And then
yeah, and then that I was waiting for that too. Like it didn't make any sense that he was able to just like it sort of made sense, but sort of didn't make sense as to why it is that he's not just literally blasting through everything. You know, like the kid should never have gotten near him. He should have gone to sleep, known that there were people there, fucked them up, and then gone and fucked up the demon. That's it. Like that's the way that should have gone down.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll go with it. Yeah, I definitely recommend it. He gets less annoying as time goes on. He wasn't nearly as annoying in the movie, and near the end of the series, he wasn't as annoying. So we'll see.
do you hope he learns another move, or do you hope it's always just the one?
I'm more hope that he just starts doing the stuff on his own and he stops being such a scaredy cat. Like I'm hoping that they switch places and that he just becomes the person that he sees himself in his head. You know.
I'm right there with you.
Like I'm sure at some point he's going to learn extra moves. I'm really interested in seeing what this fire breathing is versus the flame breathing thing. You know, the second season sounds like that's going to be what they do as they head towards the camp or where the villa or whatever the fuck it is. Find the literature on the flame breathing, and then he starts learning more stuff, but it doesn't have anything to do with his fire breathing. So then he has three different techniques that he can actually do.
Which is
or three different styles that he can actually do.
Into Brian's worry, he's just gonna have all the fucking breathing.
You know, and they're really playing hard on this whole he's literally just a pure soul type thing.
Yeah.
That he just converts everybody. He feels bad for all demons even after he kills them, regardless of how vicious they are. It's like, bruh, you literally just saw him eat 3 people, and you're gonna be like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. You live such a hard life." Like, bitch, he's a demon. What the fuck do you think he's gonna do?
Not only that, it slaughtered his family.
Yes.
Like, hello, wake up.
That was a good sequence.
All right. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we're just gonna wrap up here with releases this week. For games, you guys let me know if you saw something on here. I didn't catch anything for this week besides the Total War Warhammer. I think has some sort of DLC coming out. What's today? The 12th?
Bro, the benchmark for Final Fantasy 14 and Walker's out.
I'm so sorry. John's gonna fucking kill me.
Probably.
There's actually what's it called? It's called Space Punks, I think, that's coming out this week.
Can we talk about how shitty the Epic Game Launcher is?
It's really shitty.
So this week, free games on Epic are the Bridge Constructor, The Walking Dead, and Ironcast. And I think Ironcast, if I remember correctly, yeah. So Ironcast is like you literally you build a walking mech, or you have a mech, and then you basically play like a Bejeweled type game where you match jewels, and that builds up your energy so that you can actually start firing different attacks.
Uh-huh.
And you only have like so many turns to do it in, and that before the enemy Gundam kills you. So
Okay.
it's an interesting game. Like I think I own it on Steam. It was fun for a little while. They've released a lot of updates since I played it, so I'm sure it's a lot better now than what it was.
Okay. I got to correct myself. There is a game being released this week, and it's the remake for Legend of Zelda: Skyward Sword on Switch.
Interesting.
So
There's
Skyward Sword is
DLC
out.
coming out this week. The Streets of Rage DLC is coming out 15th.
Oh, nice. That's true. And that's all I know for games. For movies, we have Crashing Through the Snow. We have Gunpowder Milkshake, which I was looking forward to.
Finally.
What?
I wanted to see that.
Yeah.
I when I saw that they announced it like a month or two ago, I thought that meant it was out. So I went looking for it, and I was like, "Oh," and then I
Yeah.
got sad.
So definitely going to be one we watch. Gunpowder Milkshake. Memoria's coming out. Die in a Gunfight. Escape Room Tournament of Champions. Space Jam: A New Legacy. Fear Street Part 3, which is I think the conclusion of the 3-week movie Netflix special they had going on. Great White: How to Deter a Robber. I think I pronounced that wrong, but No Ordinary Men.
Right.
Out of Death, Pig, Roadrunner, a film about Anthony Bourdain, The Maid, and The Sleepless Unrest.
Those are all coming out this week.
For movies, yeah.
What was the movie you wanted to see?
Gunpowder Milkshake.
Milkshake.
You can watch the trailer; it's pretty cool.
I don't even see that in this list. Oh, it's the first one. That's why I missed it. I went in and scrolled down thinking it was good because I thought you said a bunch and then came into it and was like, not even fucking in this list. What are we talking about here? That one actually, I've seen the trailer for that one. It looks interesting.
It was
I
like a
haven't
fun
seen
time.
The trailer. I just saw the actresses in it, and mostly the name. To be honest with you, that's what got me.
That's fair.
I'm not gonna lie to you guys.
No, the trailer looks hilarious.
Yeah, it looks like a good time. For music,
it's also got Paul Giamatti in it. How can it be a bad movie?
Yeah.
I saw the name of one of these albums, and with the artist and then this name, I feel like I have to listen to this.
Okay. For music, we have Bare Naked Ladies, Detour de Force.
I didn't know they were still making music.
Me neither. So that's cool to see them. They're on here. Clairo. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly.
It's Clairo, I think.
Clairo, sorry. Ida Mae, John Mayer, K-Dap.
Read the album name for John Mayer's.
Sob Rock.
That's what I want to listen to.
That's weird. Okay. I guess K-Dap or KDAP. Moon King, The Zolas, Tones and I, Waves.
That's not
and
familiar.
Tones and I is
Waves.
Okay. And Willow drop projects this week. And that is the releases this week. Randall, what is you doing this week?
Work, gym.
Okay.
We're going some project. I don't know what.
Okay.
There's no movies coming out.
The one we're talking about. What is it? Gunpowder Milkshake.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like it's gonna be a fun movie coming out. We'll send you a trailer, I guess. If you look really puzzled right now, we'll just send you a trailer. I think there was another movie that was supposed to be coming out this weekend, but I'm not entirely sure. From the list of movies I saw, that one was the one that I was been waiting for. So.
That's all I got.
Okay. Kelsey,
What's up?
what is you doing?
I'll be up in Blacksburg taking care of mom. So I'm probably
Okay.
not much.
That's fine. Brian, what is you doing?
So boom, tomorrow, no stream. Probably gonna work on stuff on my own, right?
Okay.
Wednesday, we're playing some. But then on Thursday, I don't know what I'm gonna stream yet. I entered a Guilty Gear tournament this weekend.
Ooh, you streaming
Let's
it?
get it. Yeah, you should
If
stream.
they let me, yeah. It's on Sunday. I think it's Sunday. Saturday or Sunday. I have to look at the day, but it's this upcoming weekend.
What time, if you can, tell me.
I don't remember. I'd have
Okay.
to find the post. This isn't a tournament I entered for winning. It's more of like a benchmark as to how good my melee is. Because again, this isn't it's a character type I don't play. I'm literally playing her because she's pretty. So
Is this the hair chick?
Yeah. So it's more like if I get 0-2, I'm like, let me actually play characters that fit me. But
Okay.
if I do well, I'm like, I don't know, maybe it's me wanting to defend her. That's
Okay.
working. So I don't know if Thursday I'll stream Strive and then Friday as well. Like just grind it out for a bit. I don't know.
Why not? You might as well. If you're gonna be playing it, just stream it.
I gotta put time into my schedule now since I entered Skullgirls for Evo. That might take up 2 of my stream days, like after this week. So I might just do Skullgirls Day, Strive Day.
You're just an FGC streamer now. That's fine.
That's fine. Yeah, you really.
That's fine to me.
Once I finish Persona, maybe one of those days will become a backlog day. But that's me time. Persona's not a hey, what's up, poop gamer? Fuck everyone in my chat. When I'm playing Persona, it's just for me. Or if I'm in a Discord, and I'm streaming it.
Shout out to Poop Gamer.
Shout out to Poop Gamer. Shout out to Napkins.
Shout out.
But yeah, then Friday will probably be more Strive, and then probably stream the tournament if I'm allowed to. I don't remember if there's any rules on it. I've done this person's tournament before for Skullgirls. I didn't stream her, but they seem to be pretty cool people.
I would just ask then if they don't outright say it, just ask. All right, cool. Is that it?
Minus that, my weekend's free to my knowledge.
Nice. Alrighty then. This week, the channel has... Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
What are you doing this week?
Me? Oh, shit. Tomorrow we'll be streaming Monster Boy and the Cursed Kingdom. I don't know how much I have left in that game, but we'll finish it. So it's a backlog game day. Wednesday, I think we're clear for Borderlands. If not, we finally caught up with Torchlight 3 with your character run, so we're progressing somewhere there.
I'm gonna start another character. I'm just kidding.
No, bro, please no.
I'm kidding.
All right.
I'm kidding.
And then Thursday, I don't know yet. I didn't check the schedule, so it'll either be more Stardew Valley or I don't know what else. Depending, I don't know what time she gets out of work. But that's our co-op day.
When is the new State of Decay come out?
It hasn't been. They've only just announced it.
So it's not soon.
No. But that's that. Speaking of State of Decay, I might stream that on the weekend because I took Randall's advice and I'm playing it on Kelsey and Randall levels, and boy, is it a different game. Anyway.
What is this? Returnal?
State of Decay 2.
Oh.
It's like if you want, and then whenever you decide if you are going to stream it, I'm willing to hop in. I don't know if it lets me start a new community with you or not, but if it doesn't,
you have
then
to
I
have.
can just give you.
You have to have your community. Like, that's my one gripe with it. That's why I was looking for like alternatives like Daisy and stuff, but apparently Daisy's not like State of Decay.
You say you wanted to do the full player thing.
Yeah. I mean, like, you guys can join at any time. Believe me, I'm going to have like 1 or 2 people alive.
I'm scared to waste my guns on your server.
If your character dies on mine, you lost him in your community.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because the way you do multiplayer in State of Decay is you have to have your own community with people living in it. And then when you join me, you bring one of them to my community.
Only one of them?
Yeah. Which is the one you're playing as.
At a time.
Yeah, at a time. You can swap them.
Is this State of Decay the newest State of Decay?
Yeah, State of Decay 2 Juggernaut Edition. If you have Game Pass, you have it.
Okay. I might have to see if I can set up Parsec so I can play on my laptop or something.
Because that is... I recently this weekend I beat it on the easiest difficulty with one of the leaderships, which is Warlord. So now I was going to start my next community, and Randall was right next to me. So he's like, "Why don't you just do it on the hardest difficulty?" And I'm like, "Cause it's harder, Randall." And he's like, "Yeah, but that's how it's supposed to be played." So I started it on my Xbox save, and I've already lost people and gained people, and then lost the people I just gained. So we're all dying out here.
The question though,
what's up?
So far, isn't it more immersive?
Absolutely, it's more. It gives me anxiety. Absolutely.
Okay, there you go.
Real quick random fact before I forget. In Returnal, I don't remember who brought this up, but Returnal, only 21% of players have beaten the final boss.
Holy shit!
I'm not surprised. I'm
Yeah.
100% not surprised.
From what
I feel
Brian
like I
told
need
me,
to start playing this then. Like if it's really this
Kelsey,
hard.
Kelsey.
So
When it said Act 1 completed, I was like I beat the game once. Is that what it means? I was so in denial that there's more to the game, and I'm still on that new. Just play it. Just play it. That's
there
up
is some
there on my
bullshit
list.
things though. Like that, there's some enemies that you're like, how the fuck was I supposed to dodge that? Or that shit collides with you in a way you're like, how did that hit me? I've had moments like that, so get ready for that because I know you're
The
gonna play it
further-
on dumb hard difficulty.
are there
further you-
difficulties?
No.
I thought there was difficulties. No? Okay.
No.
If there was, I would have been on it.
Oh, you're right.
They started implementing like new debuffs and projectile types, like ones that you can't dodge through. So you have to get
Oh.
the fuck out.
All right. I'm excited. I
That's
might have
definitely
to actually start playing this.
If you look for something to stream, that's definitely a streamable game.
I mean, I still got. I have so many games that I need to finish. Like I'm still in the middle of God of War, Legends of Mana.
Yep, preaching to the
Uh,
choir here, my guy.
I
still gotta finish
fucking
Dragoon.
acknowledge Demon Souls.
That's true.
I haven't played Demon Souls at
I
all
still have to
either.
start Ratchet and Clank.
Good news, Brian. You're almost there because it's only 3 acts, so you got 2 more acts to go.
That's true.
But what the fuck's in the third act?
The Lord himself you have to fight.
Okay, in the second act, I've only beaten one boss, which is
Shit.
every time you hit a new boss, it's become my new favorite boss.
That's good.
And
I mean, that's some
that's
good
when it
designs.
was cool. And then I got to an ice area. I don't know what to. Everything is so scary that when it shoots him, I'm like, "Welp!" And then you remember that one guy that teleports at you with a sword?
Yeah.
This guy is crazy. This version in the second act. Yeah, I don't know. I missed that game. I haven't played it because I want to make progress in my backlog, but then I keep accidentally loading up Strive. So
Yeah. That's me with State of Decay at this point.
I'm making progress. I mean, I'm beating Persona, a game I've already beaten, so I can go and beat the game after it, and pretending Demon Souls has never started.
All right. I think I said my whole week. Yeah, so maybe a stream on the weekend with State of Decay. It'll be a new save on my PC with lethal difficulty. So me dying and being anxious and sweating on stream. Cool. I'm glad it's funny to you, Randall.
It's fun, man.
It's funny for people dying on
No,
camera.
I said it's fun. It's
Okay.
fun.
Anywho, that's it for the week. We'll be back next week with more reviews, shenanigans, garbage. You know what I'm saying? That's what we bring you. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, listening, both. One or the other. See you guys next week. Bye.